Brought to you by Xander Insurance. Compare rates from top term life insurance companies in seconds at Xander.com.
I have a question about my husband. My husband's working for a company, and in 8 years will receive a full pension. He is right now 53 years old, and his mother died at 59, and he has had 2 brothers that died at 55.
Oh, gosh.
He's wanting to take 5 years and buy 5 years of the pension so that he can retire 5 years earlier. And my question is, it's a significant amount of money to buy the years. It's about $100,000 a year. So it would be about $500,000. So it's a moral dilemma as well as a financial dilemma about what we should do.
Interesting. Ken, have you heard this?
No. And I yeah. Help me out. Explain. I know what you mean, but dive into the moral dilemma a little bit more. Talk to me about what you guys are wrestling with.
Yeah, he just doesn't feel like he has much longevity left in his life. He feels like with his mother and his brother's passing that he just doesn't feel like he's got a long life until a start.
Is that factual? Does he have health ailments?
So he has. He's taking high blood pressure medication right now.
Okay.
And he's going to the doctor, but there's nothing like on the radar. But there was nothing on the radar for either one of the other ones.
They just,
as well,
out of the blue, they just passed of natural causes.
Had heart attacks.
Heart attacks.
I mean, first of all, let me say, I don't think he's crazy. I don't want to imply that this is nonsensical because it's emotional. Mm-hmm. And so therefore it's hard to make sense of anything when he's got a lot going on. And I could see how someone would get to that point. I still don't understand the moral dilemma part.
Well, the moral dilemma is, do we take that $500,000 and spend it, or he work an extra 5 years and maybe not be able to enjoy his retirement because he either passes or
I think it's
a couple more years.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Now I know what you mean. I don't think it's a moral dilemma. I think it's just you guys are going, what should we do? And I think you have to live as though you're going to live longer until he has a doctor tell him otherwise. I think if this question is around a doctor telling you that he's got a year to live at most, I think it's a very different question. But right now, you're just basing this on the fact that he's got multiple people in his family have died young. But I would not sacrifice the future here on the altar of the immediate. And the immediate is I don't know how much time I've got left. I probably don't have a lot left based on everything else. And he's making all this up. And I understand how he's getting there, but then if you play this out as somebody who's not emotionally attached to this, I'm going, if this were my brother in this situation and you were my sister-in-law, I'd go, look, none of us is promised tomorrow.
I only recommend term life insurance because it's simple, affordable coverage, and you should get it only from Xander Insurance because they work for you, not the insurance companies. Xander compares all the top term plans to save you money so you don't get ripped off with insurance that they market like a so-called investment. Term from Xander is the only life insurance I would get from my family. It's all I've ever bought and all I've ever recommended. Go to Xander.com or call 800-356-4282.
None of us is promised tomorrow. He might be healthy as a horse and get hit by a bus.
100%.
So we've got to live in the moment, yes, but also not sacrifice our future based on some emotion that's not rooted in facts. So no, I would not do that. I would make financial decisions as though he was going to live into his 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the conversation that we've had.
No, but
to his point, we have significant savings. I have $1 million in my 401k. He has $500,000 in his 457. Our house we have a $700,000 house. It's paid for. We have another investment account that has $500,000. And then we have
$300,000
in CDs, money markets, mutual funds.
Okay. So if he were to today decide, you know what, I'm retiring. I forget about the pension. Tell me exactly how much money that you would be trading in if you were to do that.
Well, if we were to buy the pension, he would get 60% of his salary that he's making currently.
Even if
today.
I'm talking about you not buying it. I'm talking about you not buying. I don't like that idea. I haven't run any numbers on that, but something about that doesn't feel right. I'm just saying today, if he said, I'm done, I don't want to work anymore, what would he get and what would he not get?
Yeah.
So if he were to quit right now, he could not receive the pension.
And how much is the
he's
pension?
Not 60 years of age.
How much is the pension every month?
It'd be about $6,000 a month.
$6,000 a month. So you're saying if he were to stop working today, you'd forego $6,000 a month, which you by your own volition have said we don't need. I would. Here's the thing.
For that reason alone, I wouldn't do this idea.
Yeah, you don't need the money, so I certainly wouldn't buy it.
No.
And now it's up to you guys to decide. What is this $6,000 a month worth to us? Is it worth working for 7 more years, or is it not? And you guys need to play that out. I'd sit with a SmartVestor Pro, number one, and I'd say, how does this affect us? And then number two, let me just be 100%. I'm going to go all the way 100% with you. If I woke up in your shoes and I said, hey, the people around me, they have heart issues and I'm falling into this family and I'm wondering about that. Matter of fact, let me keep it 100% 100 with you. In my family, there's some things that run in my family and I'm seeing it play out. And I go, okay, what about me? So I take more measures. I go and I get the workup done and I spent extra money to have extended testing done and extended imaging done so I can know what's going on and I can have confidence of knowing how do I take care of myself and how do I see what's going on. If I were your husband, I would do the same thing. I would rather spend money not buying a pension, but saying, hey, can we do an extended cardio workup on me? Because here's what happened to my family members. Can we do some other panels that are not just the norm and spend some money to really get that peace of mind? What does it look like for me to be on a health and fitness and lifestyle plan so that I can outlive? Because be a person who sees it half full, which is I can take control of this.
Love it.
And half the people, I don't know if you listen to the stuff that I'm listening to, Sarah, but right now, so much of the data out there is saying that a lot of this we can avoid with lifestyle and exercise and just being proactive. So I would stand on that and live in some hope around this and definitely don't let fear control you. I'm not a doctor and I do not play one on TV.
If anyone depends on your income, you need affordable term life. Never cash value insurance. Visit Xander.com today for quotes.
We've got 2 daughters that are ages 26 and 28. Both of them are on our cell phone plan.
They shouldn't be on your cell phone plan anymore.
Can I have them call you?
Olivia, one of the daughters, is on the line. Olivia, honestly, you believe this is okay?
In Proverbs, it says you should leave an inheritance for your grandchildren. And what a great inheritance.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Hey, thank you for taking my question.
Yeah, you bet.
How you doing today?
Oh, we can't complain, and if we did, you wouldn't want to hear it anyway.
Life is good.
All right, thank you. Hey, listen, I wanted to ask you a question, a little context first. My wife and I are retired. We got 2 daughters that are ages 26 and 28, and between them we got 3 grandchildren. The older daughter's a school teacher. She's working on her master's degree. The other one has a degree in social work, and she's currently a stay-at-home mom. Both of them are on our cell phone plan, and I suspect when the grandchildren are old enough, they'll be on our cell phone plan as well. My question is this: is an annuity the best way to plan on paying for a multi-generational cell phone service legacy, or would you recommend a different investment strategy?
Well, you went a total different direction than we plan on going. So
I didn't see that one coming.
You didn't see that coming, Dale. Let me ask you this.
Hey,
why do you
bear in mind they both listen to you on their phone?
I actually hope that they're listening right now, because they shouldn't be on your cell phone plan anymore. And I don't know why you even suspect, and I'd like to know why you suspect that their children will be on your cell phone plan as well. Why is that, Dale?
Well, because we FaceTime them every day. We love seeing our grandchildren, and my wife loves seeing her grandchildren.
So you feel like you have to pay for their cell phone coverage. Do you pay their internet as well?
I think I think it's probably a little more so my wife wants to pay for it.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Oh, boy. And they're probably listening.
Come on.
It's going to get awkward, Dale. But, Dale, if it were just up to you, would you be doing this?
Oh, I wouldn't even be calling. I'd have done cut them off. But here's the thing. I learned over 30 years ago.
I know where you're going.
Certain battles you don't fight.
Dale,
in fact,
I'm
had I
with you,
learned
dog.
that 30 years ago, I probably have more kids.
Oh, man, this just keeps taking.
Well, listen,
left
let me
turns.
tell you why I love Dale. Dale's being honest. Dale, you're a stud. And boy, do I understand that. I've been married 27 years. We're quickly approaching 28. And boy, oh boy, do I understand that. But this is one that I think is probably worth the fight. I really do. I really do. And here's why. They need to be handling this. This is a basic, at this point in 2025, a cell phone is considered a basic necessity now.
Yeah.
They need to be handling this. Jade, am I grouchy? I
You're
don't feel
not
like I'm
grouchy.
grouchy today. I feel like I'm in a great mood.
For me, it's the logic doesn't add up. It sounded like the reason, the two reasons sounded like since we FaceTime them a lot, we should be paying.
Which, by the way, do you pay for their internet, Dale?
No,
Yeah.
no, but I had this discussion with one daughter last night and about the cell phones, and she said, well, Dave Ramsey pays for his kids' Netflix.
I don't know anything about that.
First of all,
I'm no
I
comment.
got to tell you something. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's categorically false.
Yeah, I gotta say that.
If I'm wrong, I will come back on the show and I will do a mea culpa. But I'm telling you, I can almost tell you, I can hear. I think Dave's head is spinning off of his neck somewhere.
I mean,
wherever he
it
is
could be
right
true.
now.
Like my
That's not true.
mother-in-law's on my Hulu because it's like the same login, so I could see maybe something like that.
No, do not
I
give
don't know.
any oxygen to this. Dale, if I'm you, I'm going to my adult daughters on the sly, and I'm going. You know
on
what?
the sly behind the wife.
Yeah, I think so. Give me a little latitude before you disagree. He can't win this battle with her, and he doesn't feel like he wants to fight it. So I think this calls for going to the daughters going, your mom's been paying your cell phone bill, but just between you and me, ladies, you guys are adults. You need to start paying for your cell phone and do the old man a solid and just tell mom, no more, mom. We're going to be adults. There's nothing dishonest about that.
I'm going to try that. I think that's awesome advice. In fact,
Men around
if I have
America
them
are agreeing
call
with
you?
me. What's that?
Can I have them call you?
Yes. And what are their names? I'm going to call them out.
I don't think I better do that.
All right. I think they should call. Actually, text them right now and say there's still a little bit of time left. James, with your permission, we'll get them on. Okay, James, the producer, is saying that if they call right now, we will move them up in the line, and Jade and I will do a little therapy session with them. How about that, Jade? Are you in?
I'm in. I'm 100% in.
All right, Dale, we're going to put you on hold. Line 5, Olivia, one of the daughters, is on the line. Olivia, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, how are you?
What's up?
Well, we are having a blast with your situation, and we're told you listen to the show on a regular basis, and your dad put you up to this. So
Oh, yeah.
we're trying to help your dad out. And so I need your take on this, and then I'm going to tell you my suggestion. Jade was on the fence about it.
Oh,
But
I want to know the real numbers. Like, how much is this
let's
costing?
go. So, Olivia, what's it costing for your cell phone plan that your parents are paying for?
Well, I don't know. I'm not paying for it.
Well, of course you don't know. No surprise. By the way, no judgment.
No
I wouldn't
judgment.
know either.
So what do you want? Do you think that, are you like, listen, I love this gravy train, or are you wanting to get off?
Oh, no, I'm loving this gravy train. I mean,
Yeah,
times
she's
are
a
tough.
human. You thought she was going to say otherwise? All
Well,
right,
I didn't know. Maybe her spouse was like, listen, we need to wrap this up.
Olivia, what do you think our
No,
take
my spouse
is?
is on his dad's.
What did she say?
Her spouse, her husband is on his dad's plan.
Yeah.
Olivia,
This
what did
is
you think our
a
reaction
trend.
was to this when we found out?
Well, I know you were going to have this reaction. I mean, sometimes we have to touch grass. Like, times are tough. It's cheaper to be on their plan than even get my own.
Yeah, but you and your husband make how much? What's your combined income or household?
120.
Oh my-
120.
Oh my gosh, do you not have any guilt at all? None.
No, if you knew my bills, I have a post-COVID mortgage. I stay home. I have 2 kids.
What's your cell phone bill? Oh, you don't even
She
know.
doesn't know it.
That's right. We already asked
No,
you.
I don't have a cell phone bill. Thank God. I might not be able to call anyone.
Olivia's like,
Wow.
if this is being offered to me, I'm taking it.
Okay.
100%.
100%.
So Olivia,
I get it.
I know that what I'm about to say is completely wasted air, but I'm going to try. All right?
Okay.
And then I'm going to confess something to you. Okay?
Okay.
A suggestion and then a confession. My suggestion is it's time for you and your hubs to adult and stop receiving this benefit, which is so kind. But even your own dad, and by the way, this is out there for public record now. Your dad knows this is ridiculous, and he wouldn't be paying for it if it wasn't for your mom. And I said, now here's the confession. On the air, I said, Dale, if it's me, I'm calling Olivia and her sister together, and I'm going, listen, your mom's doing this. And he said on the air, there are certain battles you don't fight. And he doesn't think this is a battle worth fighting because he ain't going to win. I think on behalf of your dad, you and your sister need to start adulting, and you need to start paying for your cell phone. I think this is ridiculous. I know times are tough, and I'm not in any way suggesting that you don't have some type of financial pain. But with the household income you have, I said that a cell phone bill is like a utility in this day and age, and you should be paying it. So there's my 2 cents.
I'm playing devil's advocate because
I know.
I have no dog in this hunt. Is it like, you know how you're on your parents' insurance until a certain point and then it ends and you have to get your own insurance? Maybe it's that kind of deal where it's like, listen, when you hit 30 years old, that's it. The gravy train's over.
30?
I'm just saying they're
respect that.
26 and
I
28.
Yeah, and I did get off my parents' insurance earlier than, and I worked since I could work. I paid for my college. So really, my
And you're
parents
married.
didn't hand me much besides the phone bill. So
Is
I'm
there
gonna
a
take what I
point?
can get.
Is there a financial future? A point in your financial life? Why are you laughing so hard? I can't believe you. I really don't know if I know you like I thought I knew you.
I mean,
Is there
listen.
a point, Olivia, where you go, I should probably pay for my cell phone? What is that point? Does it exist?
No, never. I hope this goes down to my children.
He
Just keep
said
this
it's
cell phone
going
thing
to.
going.
This is Dale's legacy.
And you, Olivia, honestly, you believe this is okay?
Oh, 100%. I believe this is
Why?
okay. In Proverbs, it says you should leave an inheritance for your grandchildren. And what a great inheritance!
That's that's not an inheritance. That's an entitlement.
No, I'm inheriting the cell phone plan.
No, you're not. You're not
Yeah.
inheriting anything.
I think you're both wrong. I think that
I'm wrong.
I think you're.
Oh, I've never
Well,
been more right.
Let me say like
I guarantee America is 100% on my side on this.
Listen, I don't. If I think there's a preference here. Like, definitely, I think that once you're on your own, especially when you're married, you should pay your own bills. That's the preference. I think,
Including your cell phone
yeah.
bill.
But do I think it's hurting anything?
No, none of this is morally wrong.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, whatever.
It's true.
Maybe
We're
don't
having
touch
fun with it,
We're
Olivia.
having fun. We're having fun.
Olivia, I don't begrudge you.
Listen,
and
she
I'm
busted
not
out a
judging
scripture on you.
Oh, by
Ken
the way,
Coleman.
Even if you did, I'm staying on it. So.
oh, believe me, Olivia, you made that clear early, and I know. So thanks for calling. You're a really good sport.
Mm-hmm.
We'll move on. But by the way, since I get the last word,
What is it?
she misused the scripture there. That's someone paying
Yeah,
your
I
cell
would
phone
not
bill
call
is
that
not
an
an
inheritance.
Thank you.
I wouldn't.
I love the move, though. I applaud Olivia for going that direction.
Listen.
Like, I admire that move. It was wrong.
Yeah,
But okay.
I wouldn't say that, but so deep, so strong, Ken. You really are just.
No, I've been far grumpier on many Ramsey shows. This is not grumpy. This is, I think it's a principle
It's a principle
issue.
standing on a. I will say when I was
As you say,
getting
standing
married,
on business. I finally used it properly,
Yeah.
correct? I'm standing on business
and
with
you're
this one.
standing on business. You're giving her the smoke about.
Were you truly being a devil's advocate there?
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. I think that there comes a point when you get out of your parents' house, especially when you get married, especially then, that it's like, you know what, I'm going to handle my household bills. And I will say, like, when Sam and I were getting married, I think he was still on his mom's plan or vice versa. I don't remember if it was me or him. And it was like, okay, yeah, we're going to get on our same plan now. We're not going to be on our parents' plan anymore. I specifically remember that. So I think there's some agency that takes place when you do that. In their case, I don't think it's hurting anybody. Like, I don't think the kids are entitled. I don't think they need it.
Oh, she's entitled.
Well, she's had it.
Believe me.
She's had
And
it, and
like
no one's
Olivia.
trying to take it away. So it's like, I can understand why she's like, listen, if they want to give it to me.
Of course,
whatevs,
which is why,
I'll
by
take
the
it.
way, I'm not hating on her because she's acting like a normal human being.
Yeah.
When someone offers you an entitlement like
Ken,
that,
will you feel
go,
better if I pay your cell phone bill?
No, I wouldn't allow it. And by the way, anybody who knows me knows that's true.
Yeah.
And again, it doesn't make
No,
me.
I get you.
I don't want to be on this high horse.
Then jump down.
I'm not on a high horse. I'm not on a high horse.
You're not.
Thank you.
You're not.
I just think it's.
You're standing on business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Giving him the smoke.
I don't know what any of that means, but Olivia's a great sport, and so is Dale. And you know what? Nothing of this is going to change. You know who I feel bad for? You know what this is about.
Who? What?
Dale.
Oh, yeah. Dale.
I feel bad for Dale. Dale's not struggling.
Nah, Dale's good. Dale sounds like he's...
Dale's a good man. He's a good husband, and he's a good dad.
Yeah. Dale's... This is
If
not
I'm Dale,
affecting
I'm
Dale's
going to
pockets.
Olivia's house. You know what I'm doing if I'm Dale? I'm going to Olivia's house. And when he goes to visit, I'm leaving all the doors open. I'm leaving all the lights on.
For spite?
Yeah. Just one time. Just a little fun. Since I'm paying your cell phone bill, you could pay a little extra utility this month.
Just for spite. Here he is in the flesh, Ken Coleman.
I don't know why I said that. It made me feel so good. I think I'm doing it. Doors wide open, refrigerator open.
Air it out. You're funny, Ken.
I feel better, strangely. Oh, Dale and Olivia, really fun. All right, comment on the YouTube channel, wherever. I mean,
Yeah,
the
tell
app.
us your thoughts.
What do you think? This is The Ramsey Show.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. So, as you know, most of you that listen regularly, we've been on the air now for a little over 25 years. Even before I was on the air, I was teaching people about money. When I first started this stuff, I'm a math nerd. I've got a degree in finance. I had all the letters and licenses after my name and all the different things. And, you know, I was real concerned about the math. Really concerned about the math. And I would sit down with people and show them how to get out of debt. And they would go home and promptly not do it. It was really frustrating. I started figuring out that hope has more to do with you winning with money than math does. Because hope gives you, well, it's fuel on the fire. It gives you a reason to make changes, a reason to do something you've never done before. And really what we're saying here is that personal finance is about 80% behavior. It's only about 20% head knowledge and math. The problem with your money is not your math. The problem with your money is the person in your mirror. They're screwing up everything. If I can get the guy in my mirror to behave, he'd be skinny and rich, right? That's what I figured out. So I quit telling people to get out of debt, paying off the highest interest rate first. I started teaching people what we started calling the debt snowball. And it's a real tough metaphor to grasp. You list your debts smallest to largest. You pay minimum payments on everything but the little one. You attack the little one with a vengeance. Scorched earth lifestyle. Sell so much stuff the kids think they're next. Take 16 extra jobs. Name the dog eBay and put him there. Put the cat on Craigslist. We're getting out of debt. We're getting out of debt. And you pay everything. You stop all investing temporarily and completely focus all your emotional, spiritual, financial, relational energy on that smallest debt. Everything goes on that. When that one's gone, you take the payment that used to be there and any other money we can squeeze out of our budget and we throw it at number 2. And when that one's gone, then we take the payments from 1 and 2. The snowball rolls over again. It picks up more snow and you attack number 3. The average person for the past 25 years that has done that with great focused intentionality, gone crazy to the point their broke friends and relatives thought they needed counseling. They shave their head, they drink the Kool-Aid, they get out of debt in about 18 to 24 months, everything but their house. That's the average. Now, some of you got a lot of debt. It takes you 5 years. Some of you get out of debt in 4 months. But the average is between 18 and 24 months. It works. Millions, tens of millions of people have gotten out of debt. Debt-free screams alone on the air here last year were $49.8 million. That's kind of like $50 million. And that was just the ones that screamed on the air. Other people just stood in their backyard and screamed, and that worked too, you know. You don't have to come on the air for it to count. You're out of debt. Shut up. Well, Dave, you ought to. Dave Ramsey, I saw a guy on Twitter. Dave Ramsey doesn't teach the most optimum way to get out of debt. The most optimum way to get out of debt is to pay it off highest interest rate first, says the moron on Twitter. I used to be that moron. I tried that. The problem is it doesn't work. So let me explain to you what optimum means. Optimum is the one that works, not the one that's mathematically correct. Honey, if we were doing math, we wouldn't have credit card debt to start with. This is not a math problem. This is a you problem. It's personal finance. It's more behavior. Your success with your finance has more to do with you getting along with your spouse and being on the same page than it does mathematics. You can be a freaking math genius and you and your spouse aren't on the same page, and all of our data tells us you will not win with money. You will not build wealth. You cannot build wealth in spite of a princess or in spite of a prince who spends money like they're in Congress. You can't do it. You can't make enough money to outspend stupidity or out-earn stupidity. I tried it. Not my wife. I was the stupid one. I always thought if I just made a little more, it'd be okay. No, I had to learn to control what I had. So we started teaching people a class called Financial Peace University. The class is about 25 years old. Started teaching it with an overhead projector and a bad suit. It was $569 to go through the class. 4 people came the first night. 3 of them bought. $569. The class was 26 weeks long. 13 lessons come every other week for 6 freaking months. Guy stopped by here the other day that was in that very first class. Good to see him. I hadn't seen him in a long time. We got to be friends, he, his wife, and he and I, and he's a multimillionaire now, by the way. Why? Because I gave him money? I didn't give him any money. I just showed him how to do it, and he did it. He followed the steps that we teach in Financial Peace University, not only the baby steps, not only the debt snowball, but also start investing in good mutual funds over a long period of time. That's 25 years. You should be a multimillionaire. You do this stuff, it works. That's what optimum is, morons. You people that are calling me out, and it's not optimum. Let me just tell you, optimum is what works. That's what's optimum, not what's mathematically correct. I understand that debt snowball is not mathematically correct. And I don't really care. My math nerd down inside of me cringes, but I don't really care. What matters is what works, how it allows you to change your life. Financial Peace University now includes Every Dollar Plus for a year where you connect to your bank. It now includes, you get a 1-year access to the online assets, meaning you can watch the videos and audios and everything else all online for a year. And, of course, now it includes free shipping. It's only $129. It includes the kit, and you can join a class in your area. And by the way, you're almost too late. Don't be too late. It's January. We have 1,600 classes starting this week, next week. So you need to get your kit, like, right now. There's over 5,000 starting in the month of January alone. But next week, there's 1,600 starting. So you need to jump in there and get your Financial Peace University kit. Get in your local class in the area. Use the online stuff, all the Every Dollar, which is the world's best budgeting app. It's all included. This is the best deal we've ever done on Financial Peace University. It does not get any better than this. And here's the trick. It's optimum. Because it works. Check it out, DaveRamsey.com. Back with your calls right here on The Dave Ramsey Show. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
my husband and I have been together for 26 years. We have 3 sons, and he worked as a software developer, and I'm a stay-home mom for 20 years. And he handled all the monies, and I take care of the kids. So it worked quite well until 8 years ago. I kind of expect him to step up for our teen son, but that didn't happen. So I wasn't happy, and then our marriage turned south. And then since then, I no longer allowed to know the household finance.
Oh.
He gave me a credit card to buy food and necessity for the kid and, for the family. But I don't know how much he makes anymore. And he doesn't even ask me to sign the tax return filing.
Ooh.
So I really don't know what's going on. And I asked him, during the COVID, he almost died at the hospital. Mm-hmm. And I asked him, the password to pay the bills on his laptop. And, he refused to do that. And then I had to bring his laptop to the hospital.
Wow.
But then after he got better and he got home, and I told him that, I should know our finance, and just in case if he goes to the hospital again. And he said, he said I will figure out after he dies.
Oh my gosh.
So, yes. So we have been living like a housemaid, and I take care of the kids and like a married single mom, and he's like a married bachelor, totally check out. So I don't know what I should do from this point on, and this is my only marriage, and I have, I think this is it for me, but then I don't know how to turn this thing around.
Yeah.
Jocelyn, I'm so sorry. Thank
you.
How old are your kids?
My oldest one is 18. It's going to be 19, and I have twins. They are going to be 16.
Okay.
So they are probably getting out of the house soon. But
at this point, Jocelyn, from the information you've given us, to me, this is way more of a marriage issue. I think the effect and the symptom is that he's isolated himself with the money, which is a problem in and of itself. But it is a symptom of what's going on from the root of your marriage. And so, like you said, which I would agree, the context clues you've given us is exactly right. You don't have a marriage, right? This is not a relationship where there's a partnership and there's two people doing life together. You guys have two completely different lives, is what it feels like, and you just happen to live under the same roof.
Well, the problem is I'm the only person live in this country, so I think he see that as I have no support system. So that may be the reason why he can take advantage of my situation, and I have nowhere to go. And I have been, being a stay-home mom for 20 years.
Do you have?
I do.
Do you have friends? Do you have anybody here outside of family that you can trust?
I can talk to anybody, but they are good listener, but not really, practically could be helpful, like in the deep situation. But I have a lot of friends I could talk to. They listen to my problem and they understand.
So you're not alone. But
I'm not alone.
Have you voiced this? Aside from like COVID situations where it's really, stressed or extreme, have you had this conversation with him, brought it up, not in the midst of an argument, and just said, hey, here's the way I'm feeling? Have you done that? And what's been the response? If so?
Here's the thing. A lot of times he's very calm and soft, like quiet. Like if he can counter all the problems, he will be quiet. Like, basically it's his way that I have to learn to adapt, which I'm very flexible and adaptable, but a lot of time it's like, this is the way, and maybe he's willing to share the information of the finance. He was able to give me.
Well, okay,
he's clearly not, because you don't have it.
Yeah,
so he's not.
And my worry is that he has a level of control and power over you, Jocelyn, that is so scary and unhealthy, where you have no options or choices. So I think one of the best things you can do is put yourself in a position where you have options and choices. And so where that starts from a tactical standpoint is money. Because like you said, like I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't have money. And so it starts to be very, very hard lines for me of you either give me full access to our money or there's going to be a more intense step of something else.
Absolutely.
And I think, Jocelyn, And again, this is your decision. And I always, these calls, I feel like a lot of weight and responsibility because we'll get off with you here in about 3 minutes, Jocelyn, and you're going to have to make these decisions.
Right.
But so what I am sensing and laying out for you, this is life changing. And I want to just be careful of how I even like quote this, but I would be setting myself up possibly for a new life. People stay in marriages where they're unhappy, but it's one thing to be unhappy in a marriage. You go through the ranks, you do what you can. It's another to have no power or control over your own life.
Yeah.
Where they've taken that from you. And I feel like that's what he's done, where you don't have freedom to make even a decision to leave at this point because you have no access to money or information beyond that. So
yeah,
I would be getting myself in a position for you to get access for the money, not only just to heal the marriage, which I hope helps, but it just doesn't, to me, it seems like there's less hope of that turning around and probably more of a reality of you realizing, oh my gosh, I have one life to live. And unless he's willing to do intense work in therapy and us walk through this together, which I would pray that would be the best, that's the best outcome. But would he ever do that? Would he ever go through it? Not for money, but for your marriage, a marriage intensive therapy.
He's very passive.
He's really what?
He's very passive in life. So it's either I am the one who is being the lead and plan for everything for the household, or nothing get done.
Well, if you planned it and said, I have a therapist and I want to go every Tuesday for the next 9 months with you at 3:00 every Tuesday, would he go?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. I
don't know if I want that either.
Why?
I don't know, because it's to me, I have so much accumulation of the grief, anger, or
Yep.
I don't know. I mean,
it's a lot. Listen, what you're saying is, I think I get what you're saying. Like, you don't want to open the can of worms, right? Like, there's a lot there. And the truth is, when you do go through therapy, it's almost like it creates more work for you to do, more to work through. It's not just like a quick fix, right? It's going to create more and more.
The work is on me. So it's like constantly. So that's what the majority of the problem is.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I were you, Jocelyn, you need somebody, I think a professional in your corner, and go get individual work for you. Because like you said, you're harboring and holding a lot in life towards him, which makes complete sense why. And then I think over time, it's going to get more and more clear of what you need to do, either pressing more into the marriage or not. But I would be making some hard lines to at least have access to the money. You have to have that. In my head, I mean, that needs to be your first step.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I was actually calling because my husband is very obsessed with you in a good way, and big on living like no one else, so later we can live like no one else. I've always admired and appreciated the dedication, but lately it's kind of taken an extreme turn and seems to be taking a toll on his mental health, and quite honestly, mine as well lately. So my question is, how do you suggest finding a balance between financial responsibility and unhealthy fixation?
Well, we need Dr. John Deloney, I think. I don't think I'm qualified for this. I don't know. I mean, what in the world? How is his mental health slipping because he's extremely focused on a goal? That usually has the opposite effect of not mental health problems.
I understand. Exactly. So it just seems to be the only thing that he can really think about, and it seems like he sees that we're in his mind, he thinks that our financial situation is like way worse, or we're not where we should be in life right now, even though, in my opinion, I think that we're, in a good place.
Okay. How long have y'all been working on this?
Probably recently, like the last 2 or 3 years.
So for 3 years, he's been super intense.
Pretty intense.
And what about you?
She's tired.
Yeah. It has really been like, I don't want to seem like I'm like ungrateful for his dedication and all the effort that he puts into it, but it starts to kind of make me feel like, should I be worried? Even though I don't feel like we should
Okay,
be.
so the two of you sit down and do a budget following our stuff,
yes,
right?
we are on the every dollar budget.
Okay, so when you guys sit down and do that, it's not a hopeful, yay, rah, we're making progress. Instead, it's a doom scroll.
Hey, sorry for the interruption. This is important. No one likes to think about dying, but one day your family will have to deal with everything you leave behind. So the question is, will it be easy or a total nightmare? That's where Knockbox comes in. Knockbox is a kit with 15 categories and clear instructions that give your family an organized plan, so they're not sifting through old paperwork and guessing passwords and dealing with lawyers. So leave your family memories instead of a mess. Grab your Knockbox kit today at knockbox.com/Ramsey for the best discount available. That's knockbox.com/Ramsey.
Instead, it's a doom scroll.
It's more of like, we should be doing more. He feels like he's not doing enough.
What? Give me an example. What he feels like? I mean, like you're like
you guys working your way out of debt?
I want to buy some food, and he's like, no, you can't have food.
Well, not to that extreme, but like if we do want to go out to dinner, it is still like, oh, we got to tighten up. We don't have any car payments. We don't have any credit card debt. We don't have any student loans. We've got over $100,000 in retirement.
What was it? What is it? Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Do you know what baby step you're on?
I do not.
Okay, so you're really not plugged into all this stuff. You're just watching him do it.
It's gotten to the point where it's like I kind of dread talking about it.
So are y'all
it's
out of
only
debt
being
except your
talked about.
house?
Yes,
Do you have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses?
we do.
Okay, then that puts you on baby steps, what we call 4, 5, and 6, which means you should move from, we teach that you, and if he listens this intently, he should know this, that you should move from intense to intentionality in baby steps 4, 5, and 6. 4 is we're putting 15% of our income away for retirement. 5 is we're addressing kids' college. And 6 is if we have any other money after we live our life, then we put that towards the mortgage because we want to get the mortgage paid off in the next 5 to 10 years. That is not intense. We teach and live like no one else. Don't go out to eat. Don't go on vacation in the first 3 baby steps. And that's getting out of debt and having an emergency fund, not counting the house. And you're past that. You should have moved from not going out to eat to going out to eat in your budget with no guilt.
Yeah.
That's our teaching. Okay, so what we're saying is you guys got past the emergency stuff of getting out of debt in the emergency fund, and he refuses to take his foot off the gas.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's obsessing over every little thing, and it's spinning him out is what it's doing.
It really is.
It's stressing him out more than giving him freedom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is such an interesting, we talked about this on another show last week together, how money becomes an idol for so many people. And some people, it's the chase of more, nicer, nicer, nicer. But on the flip side, it becomes an idol in this case where you're so obsessed with it in a negative way that it's like literally eating into the quality of your life because it's all you're thinking about. And that's not how it should be.
Yeah.
There should be a lot more freedom. And so there's something in him.
Yeah, at the baby step that you're on, he's doing it wrong. If he's that obsessed with our show and with what Dave Ramsey and Rachel Cruz teaches, we don't teach what he's doing. We tell you to be intentional. I don't want you being wasteful and this, but it's not intense. Okay, the intensity is no going out to eat, beans and rice and beans, no vacation till you get yourself out of debt and accept the house, baby step 2, and finish your emergency fund. You told me you've done that, right?
Correct.
Okay, so now we're just saving for retirement, kids' college, and we're working to get the house paid off, and that is intentional. That's the stage you move up in car with cash. That's the stage you buy a new couch if you need one with cash. That's the stage you go on a decent vacation with cash. That's the stage that you go out to eat. in your every dollar budget. All of those things should be in your every dollar budget, and there should be room for them. What's your household income, Georgia?
Around 150 together combined.
Yeah. So you make plenty of money to become millionaires and to change your family tree and do the things I just said in that last series of sentences. So
I agree.
Okay. So, what we want you to reach for, and him too, him is who I'm talking to, I guess, is financial peace. There's no peace in this discussion. It's that, as Deloney says, let your shoulders drop and exhale. And he's never done that yet. Right?
Yeah. And I mean, he's 25. So if it's this intense here in this part of life, I can only imagine that if we don't do something about it, it's just going to get a lot more intense.
Yeah, I think you guys need to sit down maybe with a good marriage counselor or maybe with your pastor, because this is kind of a spiritual thing at this stage. It's an emotional and spiritual thing. You just got to learn to enjoy the ride now. You've done a great job, and you need to enjoy the fruits of your labor. My guess is this is an intense dude, period. That he probably is this way about a lot of things. I don't know anybody like that, but but it could happen. This is The Ramsey Show. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So I am married, possibly separated from my spouse. I stay at home, and he is a breadwinner. I've raised our children, and I am not allowed to see any of our financial information, bank accounts, credit cards, passwords, nothing like that.
Yikes.
What do you mean you're not allowed?
I know. He just says that's how I was raised. I make the money, and he does very well.
I don't care if he makes $1 or $1 million. It has no bearing on your involvement in knowing what's going on financially in the family.
I know. And he just says, I won't. He owns commercial real estate. And so he tells me it's too much for you to handle. Stay in your lane.
So we call that financial infidelity.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've told him, and he just shakes his head at me. My therapist has said the same thing, and he just says, that's how I am, that's how my parents were, and I'm not changing.
All right, then here's the thing. Most people don't get that clear of a response. Now you have a choice to make.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish it wasn't this complicated. I mean, I wish it wasn't this simple, but it truly is.
He's told you he's not changing.
Yeah. And by the way, if you file for divorce and they do a forensic investigation into all of his / y'all's, because you're from Texas, y'all's money, it's all going to be put on the table. So he can be a grown-up adult and be an actual married man who loves and honors his wife and his kids and like share the family finances together, or he can put it all on the table with the help of an attorney and a forensic accountant that he's going to pay for.
So this is what has happened is this is very different from what I've been told, is we did come up with a post-nuptial agreement about 2 years ago. And in his mind it was, if we separate, you will get this amount of money. Now stop talking about it. Now stop questioning me. So he says that if I go and investigate with this forensic accountant, that he will take that money away and he will try to take my children more.
Yeah, hon, you need to go talk to somebody today.
I've spoken to an attorney, and what they've said to me is this is quite a good postnuptial agreement. I would be very comfortable, honestly, for the rest of my life. He has a lot of money in cryptocurrency that I know he's hiding, and I know that's really tough to investigate.
I don't understand what you're asking. If you have an exit strategy that's going to take care of you for the rest of your life and take care of you and your kids, I don't know what you're asking.
So should I just take the postnuptial agreement and let
I can't give you
get away
that. That's
with.
between you and your lawyer. I can't. I mean, I'm not looking at it. I don't have it. I don't know what you're dealing with at home. I just know you're in a very abusive situation, and it's hard to see the forest from the trees. And I'm telling you that you're worth more than the life you're living right now.
And everybody thinks he's the sweetest guy.
Doesn't
and
matter.
nobody's had
Doesn't
any
matter.
idea.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I also have a disability that I'm unable to work. So I'm just real fearful that, I don't know,
Listen, what you're doing is you have a lot of what ifs and a lot of thises and that's, and then in 10 years and in 15 years, I want you to go sit down with an attorney. Not him-haw, and don't send the posting up to a friend of yours who happens to have a law degree. Hire a lawyer and go sit down and talk and say, I need to know what rights I have. Here's my disability. Here's my situation with my kids. I know my husband's hiding money. Here's the posting up, and the attorney's job, because you're hiring them, is to advocate for you. And sometimes their advocate, like them being an advocate, is, hey, this is the best deal I've ever seen on paper. Take it and run. Sometimes they say, we're going to dig in and we're going to burn everything to the ground because this is a terrible deal. But that's their job, is to fight for you.
think they can find cryptocurrency? Because I know that's so shady. It's such a weird...
Dude, you're like, you're stepping over $100 bills to pick up nickels right now. Like you're worried about the thread count on the beach towel you're going to wrap yourself up with if you swim to shore. Like, let's get to shore first.
What about him hiding? I know he hides money with his business partners. They like swap hundreds of thousands of dollars and put it in each other's accounts. And
like I say, what do you want me to tell you?
I don't know.
I think this is you starting to realize how angry and resentful you are living this life this whole time while he hid everything. But the truth is, like John's saying, it has no bearing. You have your agreement on what it says will happen, and that's what will happen if you take the agreement. And so he may have hidden money offshore. I have no idea, but it doesn't matter. Right now, this is about you and your kids and your health and your safety.
And if he's got a couple of business partners, and they're all laundering money and being shady and shifty, and they get a knock on the door from a federal investigator or from forensics accountants, and they get served for all of their last 7 years of financial transactions and every electronic transaction they have made, every electronic communication they've made, every email, every text, every signal, every WhatsApp, everything. And by the way, it's all discoverable. Then maybe they pucker up real quick and tell him to change his tune. But here's the thing. You won't know any of that just sitting in your house and spinning and spinning and looping and looping and looping. And that's what you've been doing for a long time, right?
Yeah, about 5 years now.
Let's stop. Let's take action. Either make peace with this is my life and this is what we get, and he treats me fine. I just don't know how the money works. And maybe he does. I'm confident he doesn't treat you fine because this isn't the behavior of somebody that treats their wife fine.
He thinks he's amazing to me, and he does everything else nicely but that. And then when I ask him, he gets real defensive.
Okay. So here's the deal. The ball is in your court, and you wondering about, well, what about this? And what about this? What about this? That's just a way to numb yourself from the reality that you are holding the next move you make. And if that next move is nothing, then set the ball down and just decide, I'm not going to ask questions about that. It is what it is, what it is.
Well, we're getting divorced. I mean, it's happening because he doesn't want to hear me complaining about it anymore.
Have you already filed? Or has he filed on you?
No, but he's moved out, and just the next step.
Okay. If you're going to file, then go hire an attorney. Do not get a friend who has a buddy who's got a sister who went to law school. Hire an attorney, a good one in your community, and for someone who will fight and advocate for you, and then sit down and lay it all out on the table. Right? But here's the thing. For you and for everybody listening, and I get it, it's fear, it's scary, and like freeze is one of the ways our bodies try to keep us safe. I totally get it. But there comes a moment when I'm going to stop living like this, and the only way I can do it, I can't think my way out of this mess. I got to act. I got to go do. Michael Easter wrote a great article recently. Just go do something, right? And in your case, call an attorney who's ready to go to war for you. And sometimes in war, they say, hey, we need to retreat. Let's just take what we got and let's move. That might be the right case, but you won't know until you make that call.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Ann is in Columbia, South Carolina, starting off this hour. Hey, Ann, what's up?
Hey, Dave. It's good to talk to you.
You too.
I don't know what to do. My husband just died within the last week or so.
Oh, my.
And I went to call my sister only to find out that her husband had died in February. So my sounding board, we're both in the same boat. But the reason I called is because I don't know exactly what I should be doing in terms of the mortgage. I received a letter from the mortgage company where they were doing the annual escrow analysis, and they've upped the mortgage payment almost $1,000.
Ann, how old are you?
76.
How old was your husband?
85.
What happened?
He fell at home, and he went to the VA hospital, and they in turn transferred him to a civilian hospital, and 7 days later, he died. They don't know exactly why he died. They were guessing. They initially admitted him to a COVID ward, and then a day and a half later, they changed him to a regular ward. But hospital, they called the psychiatrist, called it a hospital psychosis. He just really, he tore his clothing off. He tore his medical devices off, and just was saying
I'm sorry,
not so nice things.
Yeah.
But,
What was his name?
What was his name?
Monroe.
Okay. So, do you have children?
He has 3 grown children. I have 3 grown children. They're all on their own.
Okay. Which one of your 3 children is the responsible one?
My daughter.
Yeah. It didn't take long to come up with that name. Call her today, okay?
Well, I thought about that when I first heard about your daughter.
And tell her you need some help.
Okay.
Because your sounding board, the sounding board you used to use, we're going to change out for your daughter, okay?
Okay.
She's going to be your sounding board. We're going to help you too. We're not going to leave you, okay? But I need her in your life walking with you as you start making these different decisions, because 1 week after your husband passes and you all were married for many, many years is not a good time to be making
actually, it was a third marriage for both of us.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
We had been married for 15 years.
That's many years.
Yeah.
And so it's a tough day, it's a tough week, it's a tough year for you. And I don't want you making big financial decisions like the Lone Ranger right now. The Lone Ranger even needed Tonto.
Okay.
So we're going to get her in your corner. I'm also going to, when we get through, I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to have one of our coaches, Ramsey coaches that are certified by us, help you, walk you through the financial details of this, and we're not going to charge you a dime. It's going to be completely free, okay?
Wow, thank you.
Okay. So we've got to make sure that, because I don't want something like an escrow account that could just be messed up to throw you into a tizzy and cause you to sell a house while you're in the midst of this grief. Because it's hard to think clear right now, if I'm you anyway.
You're right. You just don't know which way to turn.
Was there a life insurance policy, and is the house in your name? Are you able to stay where you are? Is what I'm getting at.
It was right of survivorship, so it's out of the estate. The estate doesn't affect it. And
are you going to be able to buy groceries on Monday?
Yeah, I guess. I don't eat a lot since I'm
Do you have money?
Do you have
by
money?
myself.
Do you have money?
I think I do.
Okay. So here's what the first things we need to do is to make sure that you got these four walls taken care of, that you've got food, that you can keep the lights on and the water running. You got some kid isn't going to come up, knock on the door, one of his children, and say, that's my house now, and your name's not on the deed. So that I want your daughter, and the coaches will walk you through this, but your daughter's going to help you with the basics because that's going to help you sleep, okay? And when you don't know where I'm going to get groceries, is there a life insurance policy that I'm supposed to get somewhere? When you don't know those things, it is scary, scary, scary on top of this tragic loss, right?
Well, it was totally unexpected.
That's right.
We had talked about rehab and going to that and the things he needed to do in order to get there and
yeah, it
get
sounds
back
like
home.
It sounds like it's out of the blue, and that first 6 months, that first year, that first 2 years can be an absolute black fog.
Yeah,
and that's why you got to have someone you love walking next to you.
Yeah, call your daughter as soon as you hang up with us, and then we will have one of our coaches call you within 24 hours, and we'll make sure you got food money set up, and we'll make sure that you got a good budget and you got a good handle on where you are, somebody walking with you and helping you do this stuff. And again, we don't need any payment from this. This is my Bible says to take care of widows, and that's what I'm doing. So, and it's our honor to do that for you. So you hang on, and Jenna will pick up, and we'll get you connected up with a coach to help you walk through this. And because you're when you get some of the basics done, like John is saying, and you lay that, food is okay, and the lights and water is okay, and I got a place to live. Suddenly, it helps your mind start to clear, because right now it's all jumbled up, and it's like you're juggling flaming swords in your head or something.
And I'm going to lean in and say that her husband did this. I want every husband listening to this call to hear that voice. If you don't have a will, if you have not sat down with your wife and said, here's where this stuff is, here's what happens next, here's where the paper is and where the drawer is where the paper is. Listen to her voice. I don't know if I've got food next week. Do not be that husband.
Yep. And by the way, wives, those of you that are handling the money and your husband doesn't know what's going on, same goes for you. You guys get on the same page and have a plan. Hang on, Jenna will pick up and we'll take care of you, Ann. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Up next, we have Jamie in San Antonio. Hey, Jamie, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. How can we help?
If I needed a dream team to help me, you two are the ones I would pick.
We got you.
We are here for you, Jamie. We are here for you.
What's up?
I need you. I have a very simple question and a very messy situation. At what point do I stop investing? Kind of what's going on. I'm 45. I'm disabled, and I'm freshly divorced. So I'm on a set income, and I need to start making a budget, and I'm not sure what to do with my money. Mm-hmm. I bring in about $4,000 a month, but I only spend about $1,500. I'm debt free, and I have a little over $650,000 in brokerage accounts.
600 and what?
50,000.
50. Good for you, Jamie. Okay.
This is from the divorce, and
okay.
I received probably 90%. He received maybe 10, if that.
Okay.
But I feel like I cannot make any financial mistakes because I cannot go out and get a job. Mm-hmm. If anything goes wrong, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Jamie, I want you to do me a huge favor. I want you to take as deep breath as you possibly can, and I want you to hold it for a count of 3, okay? Do it. Take it deep in. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Let it out. Okay. I want you to hear me as directly as you can, okay? Financially, you're in great shape.
Okay.
Okay? You're in great shape.
I can hear the words, but I just can't.
I know you can't. I know. But when you get scared in the middle of the night, I want you to hear those words. What happened in your marriage?
After 21 years, I found out he's been cheating on me for a while.
Mm.
And he's recently admitted that he has a sex addiction.
So this has been going on with a lot of people, huh?
A lot of people.
Yeah.
I found out. I couldn't stay. I couldn't.
No. No.
And my kids are broken, and I'm broken.
Yeah.
And so on paper, it looks so good, and I know that because I've been Dave Ramsey since 2009. Should have better than I deserve, but I'm afraid I'm gonna make a bad decision. I'm afraid I'm going to become a shopping addict. I can't eat my emotions because I've had bypass surgery. I cannot drink alcohol. I can't smoke. I can't. So I'm stuck here having to deal with this.
Mm.
And I'm scared. So I have, back to the question, I have about $2,000 plus extra each month. I have $650,000 in brokerage. Can I just take a break? Can I just go on vacation when I want to? Or what do I do?
Yeah. Oh, Jamie, how recent was all this?
The divorce was final in September.
Okay.
So my rule of thumb, I always tell people, is no big decisions for 6 months to a year. Okay, that doesn't mean don't go out with your kids. You only need to go somewhere and just be together.
I had some medical issues, and we had 2 homes. I received both of them in the divorce. I sold the first one, and I moved to 16 hours south. I had to get away from him.
Okay.
I had to move. And I have my son with me, and my daughter is in college, and she will not talk with him. She won't. And so I'm constantly the in-between. And so I'm covering every bomb that he throws, and the kids just don't know what he's doing wrong. And so I'm worn out.
Yeah.
But then I'm also keep thinking, at some point I'm going to break, and is it going to be a financial bad decision? Is it going to be, what is it? And
have you broken before? Because you keep mentioning this. Have you lost control before?
No, I think it's a control issue. I can only control my money right now.
No, that's not true. Hold on. That's not true. You can't control him, but you can control you. Have you had struggled with addiction before? Have you struggled with out of control behavior before?
My brother died of addiction last year.
Okay.
And so I'm very aware of slip falls and
I get that, but is that you?
Yeah.
Because I hear a very strong woman whose entire world just blew up.
Yeah, and Jamie, one thing John has said, and I've heard you say this before, which I feel like is so true right now, what I'm hearing from you, Jamie, is that especially when someone walks through a situation where there's been dishonesty, broken trust, infidelity, like anything in that category, the spouse on the other end questions, oh my gosh, can I trust myself?
Yeah, you've lost trust in you.
Because I feel like I was trusting him, and then he comes up living this completely different life. How am I the crazy one? You know, like you start.
Well, that's what he told me for years, is I was the crazy one and I made it all up and I was manipulated for 10 years by him.
Right.
So he could cover it up.
Yes.
Which is obviously the complete opposite of what's going on. So Jamie, all of that, you are sitting here and second guessing yourself on everything. You know, you're second guessing yourself that you're going to have a shopping addiction because your brother struggled with addiction, but you haven't struggled with addiction. You're trusting yourself that I'm going to spend all of this money, $650,000. I don't know if I can trust myself with money. You can't trust yourself with money. You've been doing this stuff since 2009 of how to handle money well, right? So I want you again, and I don't even know how to like walk you through that, but I want to give you confidence as a long distance friend that's met you for 2 minutes. Tell you, Jimmy, you can trust yourself more than you're giving yourself credit for. So just hear an outside voice say that, because you're questioning every part of your life, which is understandable. Like, hear me say that. Understandable. But for someone on just the outside looking in, I just want to say that truth over you, that you can trust yourself. Okay.
So
you're not crazy.
I want to ask you this question. Yeah. You repeat that to yourself. You're not crazy. You were married to a sociopath who put you in extreme danger by having multiple sex partners you didn't know about. and destroyed the trust that and gaslit you the whole way. So you're not crazy. Now, I'm going to ask you some direct questions. Are you going to blow all $650,000 of this money?
No.
Okay. Are you going to take care of your kids?
Absolutely. Every day.
Okay.
Every second.
Are you going to honor and take care of Jamie?
I'm trying.
Okay. You are. Now, you have to. Priority number 1, full stop. You have to get a couple of people in your life that will sit with you and have coffee. Now, that's going to be very difficult because you move 16 hours away, right?
Yeah.
Whether that's a therapist, whether it's a counselor, whether it's a local church, you have to have people with you during this time, and it cannot be your kids. They can't be the people who prop you up, right?
Right.
And I would block husband. I would take him out of my phone. I would cut him off. X. There you go. Yeah, thank you for catching me on that one. And at some point, because he is such a out of control, dishonest person, he's going to at some point try to snake his way back into his kids' lives. And I want them to have that. He's already started.
Yep.
Of course he has. I want you to have that conversation with your kids that they get to walk away from somebody who is a sociopath. Okay.
And that's okay. Because I keep telling them, like, he's your dad. And
hold on.
They don't know everything, obviously.
How old are they?
19 and 21.
Okay. There is a way to tell the truth without telling them that their father is evil. Okay. There's a way. Let me rephrase that even more. There's a way to tell them that their father is very dishonest, has had a pattern of dishonesty, has not told the truth, put you at extreme risk without saying your dad sucks and he's a terrible person, right? One of those is just running somebody down. The other is just telling the truth about what happened. Okay? That's okay. We're not gonna disparage, but we're gonna tell the truth. Okay? All that to say, you gotta get some people in your life. Hang on the line, and we're gonna give you 3 free months of BetterHelp. I want you talking to a counselor before tomorrow is over. Thank you for the call.
Thank you, Jamie.
Create your free $every budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Mary's in Syracuse. Hi, Mary. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
My question is that I am facing a potential layoff between now and the end of the year. And although my husband and I feel, have a pretty good snowball effect going on, I don't know, like, if I lose my job, I've already done the math, like, based on making minimum payments and keeping the roof over our head, we would technically be in the hole about $700 on just my husband's income. So then I had the thought that maybe I should take a loan from my 401k now to pay off some debt. Then, should I get laid off, that would then obviously
be a horrible idea. That's a horrible idea. Here's why. If you get laid off, that loan it's called due in full instantly. And if you don't pay it, you're going to get penalized and taxed as if you'd done an early withdrawal. Never borrow on a 401k. No. You can't borrow your way out of debt, kiddo. It doesn't work.
No, and I know it was like paying debt with debt. That's why I didn't think it was a good idea.
Yeah, it's a bad idea, double bad idea, because borrowing on a 401k is a bad idea on top of that. So anyway, what I would do is this. Okay, we got storm clouds on the horizon. It may rain is what you're saying. And so what do? At the point that you think that it's 50-50, a 50% chance, realistically, it's a flip of a coin as to whether you're going to get laid off, I would just stop your debt snowball and pile up cash.
Okay.
Just stop.
That was going to be my next idea, is because we do have about $6,000 in savings right now.
Well, you're not doing it right then. What we teach you to do is have $1,000 in savings. How much debt do you have?
Right. I just actually came across you 3 weeks ago, so I'm still listening to all the podcasts.
Okay.
So
what we teach is baby step 1 is $1,000. Anything above that is not in retirement, any kind of investments or savings above that goes on your debts in baby step 2. All of your debts except your home are baby step 2, listed smallest to largest and attacked in that order. Minimum payments on everything but the little one, and in this case, $5,000. Anything else you can squeeze out of your budget goes on the little one. That is if you don't think you're at 50-50 on the work loss right now. Is it just a general vague fear, or you think you're 50-50?
I think I got a few months to go.
No, that wasn't what I asked. I'm asking if there's a 50% chance at the end of the year you don't have a job.
Yes. Yes, there's a 50% chance I will be without a job by the end of the year.
So you're pretty sure you're not going to have a job?
I'm pretty sure because I work in finance and everything's going to be outsourced.
Okay. Then you need to stop everything. Don't pay down on your debt. Don't take the $5,000 out that I was talking about. Don't start the baby steps. Stop all 401k investing. Stop any investing of any kind, and just pile up cash to get ready for the storm. After the storm passes, which means after you get your new job, and by the way, I'm looking for that job now. If you're that sure you're going to lose your job, get a new job.
Okay.
Don't sit around and wait on them to shoot you in the face. You know? Dodge the bullet, right? Get out of there.
Okay.
They pretty much told you you're gone. So let's not be in denial. Go get a new job. And, so once this storm has passed and you've got things stable again, then I would walk you up those baby steps. But in the meantime, I want you to have a really nice rainy day fund, a really nice umbrella. Let's add to that $6,000. Let's get that $6,000 up to $20,000. But now if you get a new job and you get stabilized in that job, then we start and we take any money that you've saved up and we throw it at those debts. How much debt do you have, not counting your house?
Well, we rent, so we don't have a mortgage, so it's debt between me and my husband. Altogether, we have $174,000 in debt. $135,000 is his student loan.
Good Lord!
Which are in an income payment plan.
What does he do?
He's a teacher.
A teacher for $135,000?
He's a teacher. He's got 2 bachelors and a master's, and he's been searching like crazy for trying to get a teaching position. And this year is the first year he hasn't had to be a substitute teacher, but the school he works for only pays $18,000 a year with no benefits.
This is a series of bad choices. If you're going to spend $135,000 on your education, you need to go find something to do to make more than $18,000.
Yeah.
That's an unacceptable career path given the debt you've got. He gave up his rights to decide to do something that cheap. He needs to go make some more money than that. Can he teach at the collegiate level with his master's?
He's looked to get into like teaching as a adjunct teacher at colleges.
Yeah.
Tutors on the side. Like he's searching hard. It's just I don't know what it is with this area in New York, but schools are not replacing teachers as they retire.
Well, if you're talking about teaching in high school or below, K through 12, he's got too much education and too much debt to take that job. He's going to have to make more than that.
No, I agree.
$135,000? Oh my gosh! How much do you guys owe on your cars?
His car is paid off, and I owe $3,000 on mine.
Okay, cars aren't your problem then. What's that rest of that debt?
We have a personal loan, and we have a couple credit cards, and then I have student loan debt.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, yeah, you're looking for a job, he's looking for a job, and you pile up cash right now. Stop all investing. Pile up cash. You have a mess on your hands, and you're right. You can't, you can't cut through this if you lose this job. So you need to be finding a new job given that yours is that unstable. And, of course, he's got to continue to pursue a career that makes a lot more than $18,000 a year. And if both of you are looking and there's no teaching positions in the area that pay more than $18,000, you may need to be looking in a different town, a different area. You may need to look at a move to get you guys out of this mess. I mean, you have a real serious student loan problem here. And you have to address that with income is the only way to do it. So, hey, hang on. I'm going to send you a copy of the book, The Total Money Makeover, to help you with this process. And you call me back if I can help you some more, okay? This is The Dave Ramsey Show. Abigail is in Topeka, Kansas. Hi, Abigail. How are you?
Well, hello there. Thank you for taking my call, Dave and Rachel.
Sure. What's up?
Well, you both say that that's not a money problem, that's a marriage problem. And I know that's what I have. I've been married 40 years, and I'm staying in the marriage, but I'm scared. I have no retirement to speak of. We have no retirement to speak of. And we're getting old.
How old are you guys?
He's 69. I'm 62.
Yeah. And you guys have no retirement.
He has 40,000. I have 16,000.
Are you both still working?
Yes. He's had various and sundry businesses over the years. He sold his last one and then, quote, retired for 2.5 years. And now he's back in the workforce. We make plenty of money. We just spend it all.
And what's his hesitation of, well, you're saying we spend it all, so I'm going to go with that language. Is it mostly him, or is it you as well that you're thinking, I don't have great money habits either?
We don't have furs and jewels. We have nothing really to show for it. We've been doing a budget for 4 years after we did FPU. And yet, no matter how much money we bring in, out the door it goes. And last night he said to me, that gazelle intensity is BS. I'm not doing it. Well, we've completely paid off all the debt. Well, let me just say we did, and then I did again and again and again. And what's really got me scared right now is his health is failing. And even though I'm a late bloomer, I was a stay-at-home mom for years and years, I have the capacity to make a lot of money. With all the stress, it's just wildly, like last year was 50 grand, this year is 175 grand. The year before, 2 years ago, was 185. So it's back. It could be a low year, it could be a high year.
What do you
and
do?
I'm not putting anything away.
What do you do?
And now I need a new car.
What do you do?
And he wants to go into debt for the car.
What do you do?
Don't laugh. I'm an attorney, and I have my own business, but it can fluctuate wildly.
No, why would we laugh?
It's not funny. It's wonderful. Congratulations. That's
thank you.
Pretty cool. And you have the ability to make really good money some years. Yeah. Everything we would tell you, short of fixing this in the marriage counselor's office, is a poor substitute and at best a Band-Aid, or at worst would cause more damage to the marriage.
Marriage counseling.
I'm tempted. No, this guy. I mean, I get where you are. I'm just saying, if I tell you to do something else, part of the problem is I got 20 million people listening. It might give one of them permission to do something else, and I don't want them to do it. I want them to. I want to get them to the root of this and to fix it. But if you're going to stay married, maybe you need to act like you're divorced.
Separate account.
Yep. He doesn't have access to your income anymore.
Yeah.
And you make $185,000, you can go buy a car, pay cash for it, a car that fits, within your cash budget, and you just operate your little life there. And but I got to tell you, that's not a good way to live.
Is that because of her age?
No, it's just not a good way relationally.
No, I'm saying
you're going to be living in a house with a roommate now.
I know, and that's where for
I just
me,
don't like
Abigail,
it.
I'm like yes, because we say that it's more of a marriage issue than a money issue. It's coming out as a money issue, but there's something about him that isn't willing or doesn't want to be on the same page with you and be a team with you for the rest of your marriage. And you guys can still have another 20 years of this life together. And so I would want to get to the root of his his pushback so much? What is it? Because he's smart. I mean, he can look at numbers and know we don't have money to retire. And is it a pride thing? Is it a fear thing? Like, what is it in him that refuses to say, I'm gonna stop spending everything I make and put it away for the good of my future and my wife's future and all of that? Like, I want to know more of what's going on in him and all of that.
Yeah, I agree. I
can't believe you said separate accounts.
I said it with 73 caveats, but the
well, I'm saying, and I'm trying to get to why you said that. Is it because of her age and she's going to retire soon and she needs money to live off of? Like, or is it because most?
What needs to happen is she needs to lay down the thing and say, if we're not going to do this together, we're not going to be together. After 40 years, that eventually it's going to get down to that. Because her level of respect for him is going down and down and down and down and down and down. She's being very careful to be very classy, but in between all those words was a lot of anger and disrespect.
Which I would feel the same way.
And most people would.
Abigail,
and she's like, this guy's baggage. And, I'm smart enough. I'm an attorney. Late in life, I became an attorney, and I can go do this, and I don't need this crap. Mm-hmm. That's all in there. And it's not going to get better if you separate the accounts. It's going to get worse.
Yep.
Because you're going to watch him over there playing in the sewage, and you're over here playing with gold coins. And so it's just a problem. So Sharon and I have been married 40 years, and I can tell you what would happen at our house. We would go and sit with a counselor, and we would try to find common ground. And if she bowed up and said, I absolutely refuse to be smart. I am going to spend like I'm in Congress, and we are going to be on welfare as we go into our retirement years because I am prideful and I will not deal with this, and I'm not going to face this, and I'm not going to discuss it. Then she's going to find her own way, I guess. It'd be really sad. I'd hate that. But because the alternative is actually worse than divorce.
She gets dragged down in it.
It's actually worse. So, I would put him in a corner. But I would do it systematically, kindly, gently, lovingly, patiently.
Yep.
But I'm going to put him in a corner. And we're going to solve this because this ain't going to work out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to look across the room at you and hate you 10 years from now. I'm not going to do it. Hannah is in Missouri. She says, is it necessary to hire a financial advisor when investing? I can open a Roth IRA and college fund at my local credit union. What does a financial advisor do that makes using one worthwhile? I would never buy investments at a credit union or a bank. Ever. They're bankers. It's a whole different skill set. No chance I'm buying them. I don't buy mufflers at the transmission store either. And I don't buy shoes at the hair salon. Think about it. No. You're going to get a simple savings account if you go into the financial institution, or you're going to get bad investment advice from somebody who doesn't know what the flip they're doing. Never do that. What does a financial advisor do? A good mutual fund financial advisor, like our SmartVestor Pros that we recommended on the SmartVestor program as an example. What do they do? Well, a good one, the only ones we recommend, has the heart of a teacher. Now, about 85% of the people in the investment sales world are salesmen. About 15% are teachers. You're looking for the teacher. If you feel like you got slimed and you need to take a shower after meeting with somebody, then you did not find a teacher. You found a slime ball, a pushy salesman, and they're everywhere. But that is not who you want. What you want is a teacher. The reason is that you are going to make your own financial decisions after being taught. But you can learn a lot about any given subject from a subject matter expert. I don't do my own taxes. I have a tax professional. I know a lot about taxes. I'm really good with math. I could probably figure it out, but a tax professional can help me through the complications of it and make me more money, keep me from sending the government money that I need to send them. I don't do my own estate planning. I know a lot about estate planning, but I don't do my own. I have a lawyer that is a professional estate planner. He spends all day, every day at work studying estates and estate planning. He knows more than I do. He's a subject matter expert. That makes him worth his money. I don't even work on my own cars anymore. I used to could work on a car back when the cars were actual engines, but I can't work on them anymore. You have to reboot a car now. You can't. It's like a computer or something. So I can't work on them anymore. So what do? I can lift the hood. I've got a whole bunch of tools in my garage. I could lift the hood and probably wander around in there, and after a few days, I could figure it out. But it's a lot more efficient for me, time-wise and knowledge-wise, to have somebody that actually knows what the flip they're doing work on my car instead of doing it myself. It's an interesting thing. We hire professionals all through our lives. Why is it when it comes to investing that we think we don't need a professional? I don't understand. Because there's all kinds of studies that show when you have a financial advisor that teaches you and is there to talk you off the ledge when the Dow Jones Industrial Average drops and it's in the evening news. Oh! They talk you off the ledge and keep you from buying high and selling low. You're supposed to do it the other way around if you didn't know. You're supposed to buy low and sell high. But that's what a financial advisor does. They actually are a subject matter expert. I know a lot about investing. A lot. I easily could do my own investing, and I don't. I use one of our SmartVestor Pros. Why? Why would I do that? Because the guy that I work with has been in the business for 30 years, 20 years. He studies mutual funds all day long, every day. I don't. He can sit down and go, this mutual fund is this mutual fund is this, and he can pull up the software that he owns and run the hypotheticals, and there's what we've got, and here's what the history is, and I just had to take some huge time savings for me. I don't want to spend my whole life studying mutual funds. I really don't want to. I don't like mutual funds that much. Not enough to study them all day, every day. I'd rather do something fun. That sounds painful to me. That's why you use a financial advisor. They know more than you, and they can coach you and teach you. They are subject matter experts, and we use subject matter experts in every area of our lives. So just go to DaveRamsey.com, click SmartVestor, put in your info, drops down a list of SmartVestor pros in your area that we are recommending. Interesting article this week in the Wall Street Journal. Workers get faster access to wages with new apps. Instant pay helps boost employee attendance, but can make savings harder to do. I don't know if you knew this or not, but people like Uber. Uber's the first place I saw it. You can get paid every day when you finish doing your Uber runs. Every day you click on the app, on the Uber app, and it pays you right then. That's a pretty cool thing, actually. Said Dave to himself when he first heard that, which I do think it's a cool thing. I did not think about it much as being a dangerous thing, because I thought, well, that's extra pay, it's extra work you're doing to get out of debt. You know, that's how, because we advertise for Uber for drivers, right? And I'm thinking it's a good idea. So the article reads like this. For more workers across America, every day is payday. Uber Technologies, Inc., McDonald's Corp., and Bloomin' Brands, Inc.'s Outback Steakhouses are among the many growing group of employers giving workers near instant access to their wages through payday apps. New tools that allow people to spend the money they just earned have provided some workers an alternative to short-term high-interest loans, say the technology startups offering the services. See, I think that's just bull. It's not an alternative. It is for some people. I mean, if you're really, really broke and you're dealing with payday lenders and you're doing that kind of stuff, yeah, this could keep you from doing that. But that wasn't what I thought of when I saw it. I thought you get the money faster so you could pay it on your debt faster. That's what I thought of. And a lot of people working Uber, a lot of people working stuff like McDonald's or Outback Steakhouse are that's their second job. I mean, I would wager to say most of them, it's their second job. So you don't find any traditional 40-hour workweek companies hardly doing this early pay by the day thing. But it's contract work, or it's a second job contract, or Uber's contract work, So, and so employers across the retail, restaurant, and service sectors are searching for inexpensive perks to attract and hold on to employees in the face of low unemployment. For workers, immediate access to cash can provide liquidity to cover emergency costs, but economists say it is unclear whether smaller, more frequent paychecks will help U.S. households that are under financial strain. Well, what kind of an economist are you if you can't figure that out? I mean, that's just dumber than rock. Listen, if your pay is low and you take your low pay once a day or you take it once a month, you still have low pay. You don't need an economist to figure that out. Their financial strain is not caused by how often their paychecks come. Their financial strain is caused by their low pay and their high expenditures. You don't need an economist to figure this out. Oh, my goodness. It's almost like a drug for employees, says Ed Shaw, the Executive Vice President of Human Resources for Casper's Company, which operates 54 McDonald's restaurants in Florida. Roughly 1,300 of the franchisors' workers have signed up to use a smartphone app, Instant Financial. Since Casper's began testing in April, workers have quickly taken to the service. Mr. Shaw says, as demonstrated by the waves of angry phone calls he received from workers on the few occasions that the app experienced a glitch. Every day at 10 a.m., the app notifies users on how much they earned the previous workday, prompting them to decide if they want to deposit as much as half of that money into a debit card. Roughly 20% of employees accept the money every day, says Mr. Shaw, who has reviewed the aggregate usage data. Instant Financial costs employees nothing to use and instead charges the business owners a fee to operate the money disbursement service. Other apps have a revenue model that eats as much as $3 from a worker's daily paycheck. Now, let me tell you, that's a bad deal. If you have a daily paycheck that's low and you get $3 out of it, that could be 10% a day. I mean, that could be ridiculous. So daily payments could help some workers smooth out the financial volatility of a fluctuating work schedule. Many Americans remain on shaky financial footing with little to no savings years after the recession's end. That prompts some 12 million consumers to take out payday loans each year. Now, see, that's just a bunch of crap. Okay? Yes, there are many Americans that are struggling. Yes, there are still some people that don't earn like they should be earning. But the thing that prompts 12 million consumers to take out payday loans is not the fact that they're all broke because of their how often they get a paycheck. You know, they may be broke because they don't get a paycheck much. Or they may be broke because they mishandle the money. But the number of people that use payday lenders just because of the recession from 8-10 years ago? Come on. No, you're not handling money and or you're not making enough money. And both are hard to do, granted. But, I mean, we're not going to give you an excuse to go, that prompts, things are bad, so they use payday lenders. No, they use payday lenders so things are bad. Hello. And fixing how often someone is paid does not fix that. So, there's a premise running through this whole article that the poor working man can't make it, and so this daily pay app is going to help him, and, he can't make it otherwise because how often he's paid is his problem. No, that's a bunch of crap, okay? Listen, there's two sides to the equation, the income side and the outgo side. You got to work on both sides all the time. You got to get your income up and your outgo down all the time. And how often you're paid doesn't affect that, okay? That doesn't run you into a payday lender. That doesn't do all this other stuff. However, that does not make me against a daily pay app. I don't mind the daily pay app unless you're just managing it. It's like beer money for the day. And I'm going to go drinking every night, right? I got to get my beer money, so I'm going to hit my payday app and go out every night. And I have no money because I'm drunk all the time. I mean, seriously, there's people that do this stuff. I have heard. I actually know a few. So there you go. And You can't live your, what's the Dean Wormer from Animal House? You can't live your life drunk and stupid, son. So, but so there's some of that going on here. And I would not suggest you use your payday, your early pay app or your payday app to get paid every day to do any of that. What I would tell you to do is use it when it's your extra job to pay more quickly onto your debts and more often onto your debts. And maybe you don't have to hit it every day, but you can control when you get paid. And I like that feature of it. I think that's nice. If the feature is allowing you to misbehave with money, then that's a bad idea. So 30 some odd years ago, I owned some low-income rental property that we collected the rent every Friday afternoon, weekly rental. And we got 25 to 30% more for those rental properties than we would have renting the same house monthly. But these were folk that could not make their money make it through the weekend because of their personal behavior patterns. And see, that's your thing. Your personal behavior patterns cause you to pay too much, cause you to waste money. So beware of these apps unless you're using them properly. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show. Well, I told you guys, a while back, months and months and months ago when it was launched, that Obamacare was communism. And I explained exactly why and how it worked and how the economics around that worked and how big a disaster it was going to be. I just got some data in that will blow your mind. To say that Obamacare is an unmitigated economic disaster is an understatement. And here's what's sad. You're not going to hear this anywhere else. You're not even going to hear the conservatives reporting on this for some reason or another. I guess they're too busy worrying about Trump and Hillary. But I tried to explain to you how insurance works and that when the cost to cover someone, a group of people, goes up, that insurance companies have one choice. Well, two choices. One, go out of business. Two, raise their prices. And that the people that put Obamacare together either had one of two agendas. Either they were absolute economic morons, which there's a real possibility of that, or they fully intended to destroy the health insurance industry and completely put them out of business so that the government would be the only provider of health insurance. Now, I don't know whether they have that much malice and that much of an intention towards socialism, or whether they're just stupid. Neither choice is good, but that's really your only two options. Let me explain to you what's happening, okay? We told you that because of Obamacare, that health insurance rates were going to go through the roof, didn't we? Didn't we? I told you that. If you've been listening to me, I've told you this over and over and over again. Well, the first piece of data I got was from my state, and my state's just indicative of the other states. And the only reason I got this data is because of what it's doing to our health insurance plan. Obamacare has cost my tiny little company millions, with an S, of dollars already in increased health insurance cost. Now, when a little company like mine that has 600 team members is cost millions of dollars, there's a real simple effect to that. That's money I don't have to hire people with because it's going to stupidity. It's real simple. And so you want to slow down job growth. You suck money out of the economy with a vacuum cleaner called socialism on some kind of trash like this. Now, that's not just an opinion. It's an actual fact. It's occurred with my company. It's occurred with thousands, tens of thousands of companies just like mine all over America. But now get ready. It's not over. Blue Cross Blue Shield in the state of Tennessee is the largest insurer. They just pulled out of the exchange. They can't make the numbers work in the exchange. and they are announcing today a 62% increase in premiums for next year. 62% increase in premiums for next year. Oh, Cigna. They had forecasted a 23% increase. They just came out today, a 46% increase in premiums. Humana had forecasted a 29% increase. They came out today, 44.3% increase in premiums. If your blue jeans all went up, if a gallon of milk, a gallon of gas all went up 62 and 44%, you people would be storming Washington with pitchforks and torches. But you know what Americans are going to do? They're going to stand back and look at this and yawn. Because it's coming through their companies and it's coming through the group plans, and they get the bill and they're just like, oh my God, my health insurance went up. What am I going to do? I can't afford my health insurance. And it's all because of Obamacare. It's because socialism does not work. It's a very simple economic formula. I mean, there's really this, I mean, a sixth grader could walk you through this, but these morons in the White House can't figure it out. Well, let me tell you, when you take an industry and you basically double the cost that it charges to the consumer, and the entire industry does it. So it's not like you can go get a gallon of milk from somebody else. A gallon of milk just doubled. Gallon of gas just doubled. The cost to put tires on your car just doubled. You walked out. You think Macy's and J.C. Penney's would stay open if they doubled all their prices? What's that going to do to the economy? 1/7 of the U.S. economy is healthcare. 1/7. And it just went up 62 and 44%. And this state is indicative of what's happening in every other state. It's not like Tennessee's pregnant and got a different issue than everybody else. This crap is coming down from Washington, D.C. And this is the effect of Washington taking control of an entire industry and screwing it up. And no, I got to tell you, nobody's going to gripe about it. You're not going to hear anybody else fired up about this like I am. You're not going to hear somebody. It's not going to be I promise you, it's not the lead story on the news tonight. I'm 100% sure CBS, NBC, and ABC will give this zero coverage. Zero. And 1/7 of our economy just doubled in expense to your back pocket. And let me help you with this. If a company makes blue jeans or milk and they have employees, their cost to do business just went up dramatically. Do you think that that's not going to be passed on to you in higher prices? If you don't think prices are going up across the board on every product and service in America as a result of this debacle, you're not smart. Oh, it'll be gradual and it'll be incremental. And that's how you boil a frog. You turn it up slowly. And a bunch of you frogs aren't paying enough attention and you're getting boiled. And you're standing around going, oh, Obama's a great president. He's going to go down as the worst president in the history of the United States. This is an astronomical economic failure. This is absolute. I have never seen anything like this in my lifetime, where an industry just casually announces a 62 and a 44 and a 43% increase, 46% increase in costs. And they're one of the largest industries in the entire United States. Big segment of our economy. Just changed. It's going to happen real quietly. It's not a conspiracy. It's just people don't know what to get pissed off about. They're more worried about whether Hillary's wearing diapers than this. Jeez. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
You can do this. You know, that really is a message. Whether you've got $270,000 in student loan debt or $27,000, whether you've got a $50,000 income or a $500,000 income. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Cassandra kicks us off in Tucson, Arizona. Cassandra, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
We're doing well. How can we help?
So, my husband and I, we started a rental car business through Turo. Not sure if you're familiar with that or not.
I'm very familiar.
Yes. So
I can almost guess where this is all going.
Yeah. So we financed 3 vehicles that are now completely underwater. And in Tucson, it's become pretty saturated. So we're not doing as well as we had started off doing, because we started off doing really great. Now, since probably January, it started to kind of taper off, and then the cars got into some accidents, and then there was no income from this business. So now we're personally backing it when we have like no money to back it. And so now it's racking up credit cards, and my husband's second job that he has is having to fork out the money to pay for things, when in reality that money should be going towards the credit cards, because he's when he contracts work out, he has to put it on a card and then gets reimbursed. So now we're not being able to reimburse what he put on the card, because now we have to pay car payments and insurance.
Oof.
Before George digs into the math here, I just need to ask you before we start talking, are you willing to change your entire posture on this deal?
I want out.
Okay.
Is that what you mean?
Well,
I want out.
I know you want out, but the way you're talking about it is all of these things are happening to you. Everything was perfect, and then all these things happened to us. And what both George and I and any of my colleagues here would say is, when you leverage your soul, when you leverage a business that you can't cover, you are at the whims of the cosmos as to what happens. Mm-hmm. And so I've never seen somebody successfully victim their way out of a problem like this. I've only seen people say, well, that was dumb. We did something that looked good on the back of a napkin at a Mexican food restaurant, a good one, by the way, in Arizona, and it didn't work. And so we're going to have to both get 2 jobs or 3 jobs, because we have 3 cars that we can't afford. We have 5 cars, actually. And we're going to have to figure this out, and we will never, ever, ever, ever do this again. I've never seen somebody just be like, well, then this happened, and this should be going to this, and this. The only way out is you have to change your posture, which is, we gambled, we put it all on red 17, and it landed on black 29. We lost it. And now we got to pick up the pieces and go from here. Does that make sense? You get what I'm saying?
No, right. I get it.
I'm only telling you that because I love you, but there's just no way to slump your shoulders through this. Y'all are going to have to say, we did it, and now it's time to come out swinging the other way.
Okay.
You ready?
So, yeah.
All right, lay it out for us. What is your current income if we take Turo away?
Without Turo, it's about $94,000.
Okay, and what's the total debt load?
It's about $110,000.
How much of that is the cars?
29 on one, 29,000 on one, 38 on another, and 20 on another.
Okay, and do you know what all of those are worth?
Yeah. Okay. One's worth $19,000, one's worth $21,000, and one is worth $19,000, $20,000, and $12,000.
Okay. Do you guys have any money, liquid cash?
I have $1,000 in my emergency fund.
Okay. And do you guys have car loans on your own personal vehicles?
No, those are paid off. We did our debt-free scream a few years back, and now here we are again.
Oh, no.
Yes,
not the debt-free alum.
I know. I am completely ashamed.
Well, you're going to get out of this, and one day it'll be a funny story you tell your kids.
That's right.
But right now, there's a lot of pain and fear as to how we're going to get out of this ditch.
Yep.
The good news is you guys have a good income, and without Turo, which I assume was taking up some time, could you guys pick up more work, more jobs?
He cannot. He's already tapped out.
What is he doing?
He's an executive chef, and then he's also a contractor for a company and he travels quite frequently for that one.
Is that doing similar chef contracting or what?
It's different. It's a little bit different. It's for like he's working with chefs for that job, but
So still in the same field. And
What
then
about you?
What are you doing?
I'm an administrative assistant for him at his executive chef.
What do you make?
Me, I make about 16,000, I think.
I'm confused. Why would you work for him when you can go make double or triple that elsewhere?
We have 3 kids and no help, so I need that flexibility.
Okay, so you're staying at home with the kids while doing this administrative work for him part-time.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Okay, I was worried. I was like, you need to find a different job. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if we can clear $100,000 here and we can pay off, 50, 60 a year living off nothing, this becomes a solvable problem to just pay this all off. The other way to approach it is, can we find the difference? Go to the credit union and go, hey, I need a difference for this loan so that I can get out from under this bad underwater car situation. Then you have a smaller amount of debt to pay off.
Okay.
But you're not keeping these cars anyways. And so I like the idea of getting out as soon as you can from these underwater vehicles. But the only real way to do it is to come up with the difference. And you either need to do that through savings and cash, or you need to go get a small loan from the credit unions to cover it.
Okay.
Or if he travels a lot, maybe you sell one of your paid-off cars and he can Uber to and from the airport. And I know your first thought is, well, we can't do that. But here's the deal. You're going to have to either just make peace with you're going to be paying this off for 4 or 5 years, or something has to be different because the math is not going to change.
Right.
So somebody at your local church will watch your kids for a discounted rate, or you get a job at a local daycare center where they pay you $32,000 a year as a assistant administrator and your kids go for free, or none of this is what you want, but this is what is. This is just choosing reality here. Or y'all make peace with it, or you sell his car and you pay off the difference between 2 of these underwaters, and now you're down to just 1 of the cars. And you see what I'm saying? You begin to knock it out real quick. There is not a path forward without discomfort. And the question is, which discomfort are you going to choose? The day-to-day discomfort of not doing much of anything for the next 5 years, or a really uncomfortable right now with the opportunity to get free in the next 12 to 18 months, and then we're going to save up some money down the road and never do this again.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Rosalie is on the line in San Antonio. Rosalie, how can we help?
Hi, guys. So I'm having a little bit of buyer's remorse with our house. We sold our first home last year, and then we bought a new home this time last year as well. And I just feel like it's just way too much money, and I'm having a little bit of remorse here with what we got ourselves into.
Walk us through the numbers.
Okay, so we bought our first home in 2017, and we made $100,000 in equity.
Okay.
And then I paid off my school loans, and we paid off our vehicles, and so we were debt-free except for our mortgage.
Okay.
We bought about a $500,000 home.
Okay.
And we make about $10,000 every month. That's what we're bringing home.
Okay. How much is your mortgage payment?
$4,000.
Okay. Yeah. That's why you're feeling that. You're about 40% of your income. And we would suggest that you be somewhere around 25%. So that's why you're feeling it.
Yep.
Tell me more.
It was, we fell in love. Our real estate agent was awesome. We just qualified and got over our head and just got swept away with the moment.
Yeah, because they'll say you're good up to 50% usually.
And then they're like, oh, your credit score is so good. You can get more and more and more. I was just like, oh my gosh.
The lesson that you just learned is a lesson that so many people need to learn. Because I can tell you, coming here, when Sam and I put an offer on a house, they were willing to approve us up to 50% of our income.
Gladly.
Gladly. And they're like, oh, we'll make the approval letter for this much. And I'm like, no, that's good. You can just make it for the amount that we want.
Funny.
So remember, guys, anybody listening, advocate for yourself because they want you to spend because they get paid off that.
Yep.
So just stick to your guns. All right. So you're in at $4,000 a month. Are both you and your husband working?
Yes, I'm a virtual teacher, and then he owns a body shop with his dad. So we're both working.
And are you working Are you working 40 hours a week? Are you both working 40 hours plus a week?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and we've got 2 little ones. I've got a 3-month-old that stays home with me, and then I have a 3-year-old who goes to daycare.
Okay.
How much is daycare?
It's not bad for our area. It is.
You say as you chuckle when I asked you that question. What was the chuckle about?
Yes. Well,
I mean, that's average.
How much was it?
$150 a week.
$150 a week.
Oh, yeah. All right. That's not bad. I was just curious.
Yeah, it's just an expense because I've debated pulling him out and trying to work because I'm a virtual teacher, so I can work from home. But I've got a 3-month-old and then a 3-year-old. It's just a little bit crazy. So I've debated
what was your interest rate?
I think it was right around like 6%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a 30-year, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Girlfriend. All right. So the choices are not many. Your choices are, which by the way, let me just ask, what's the house worth now? It's still sitting the same. It's $500. Like, you didn't buy it too high.
Is what I looked. Yeah, we have $47 to like pay it off. And I want to sell, but I don't want to pay capital gains tax.
That's what I'm kind of getting at is
right.
Let's look at this logically. All right. You're in at 40%. Now, the question is, do you see a pathway where you and your husband can close that gap and knock it down 20% points to get it where it needs to be?
With income.
To increase our income?
Yeah. Can you find a way to increase your income by 15% is basically what I'm asking you.
I feel like we're kind of maxed out with a 3-year-old and a 3-month-old. Like we're definitely busy.
And so that's the reality of the situation. If you can't see a clear path to increasing your income 15%, so you're closing this gap, and then it's sitting at 25, 28, even 30%, right? Where it's a lot more comfortable, then you do need to consider some situations going forward. Now, let's look at this capital gains thing and with real numbers. Okay, let's say that you bought it for $500. Let's say you sold it for $540. So that's a gain of 40%. And your capital gains rate is based on your income bracket. So based on where your income is, I think in your case, you're probably going to be at the 15%. You're either going to pay 15 or 20, I believe, if I'm saying that correctly. But 15% of 40,000.
I would sell. I'd take the hit. I was curious what other options you were going to give.
Take the $4,500 hit because I think we hear capital gains and we're like, oh my gosh. And you're like thinking that it's going to make you go bankrupt. But when you really draw out the numbers, it's not like you had a gain of $300,000 on this property.
So let's just look at the psychological side of the money. Okay. So I think Jade's right. I think that's the option. If you can't increase your income, if he can't do, body work on the side on the weekend, you're going to be stressed out every month as opposed to a little stressed out for a couple months to pay that tax bill.
Yeah, because when did they move in? When did you move in?
March of last year. So
it's been a year?
I'd take the hit. I'd take the hit. You get out without very little stress at all. And you guys just learn from this and move on. If you literally can't increase your income, then I think that's your only viable option. I would not bite the bullet and be really stressed out every month.
Over a year with kids?
Yeah, because I was thinking of just staying here another year and just keeping it real tight with the budget. And then
how tight is it? You know what?
Are you able to make it work?
Yes.
Without credit cards?
Yes.
If you can make it
stay
work
for a year.
If you can make it work for a year, then stay. If you can't put food on the table, you got to get out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, we're not doing credit cards. My husband could. He likes his toys. So we have a third vehicle. We've got a truck, probably worth about $15,000, and I think we could.
He's not going to like me. He ain't going to like me. But if I had been one half of this bad decision, I would then be going, all right, I'm going to start selling stuff, and we're going to stack some cash.
Well, yeah, because you're going to sell that truck because the time is going to come for you guys to move, and you want to know what you're going to need? Moving truck, boxes, tape, all that stuff that costs, and that truck is going to come in real handy to pay for all that.
And he's a very talented guy doing body work. I'd like to challenge him to work a couple Saturdays. I know you need him at home. I'm going to get yelled at by Jade on Saturdays. But if I was this tight, I want to go find some margin, and I'm going to go work.
Yes, Ken. Men should work.
I'm not going to leave you stranded, but I got to go make some money.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. John's with us in Houston, Texas. Hey, John, how are you?
Hello, Mr. Ramsey. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. How can I help?
Well, last year I lost my job that I was with for 15 years, sir. And over the course, I got myself extremely mentally depressed. And I have accumulated over $90,000 in credit card debt, sir.
Wow.
And I have I have a credit card company that has filed a lawsuit in my city. And, I've talked to a couple of attorneys, but they're wanting about $4,000 just to handle the case and information. And I just don't have that type of cash to do anything. And, I have a house, even though I've been unemployed, been looking for work. I have a house that I have with my dad. My dad collects Social Security. I'm living with him. And I just really don't know how to pull myself out of the bad choices that I made using my credit cards.
How old are you?
41.
And what kind of a job did you have?
I was a manager for a retail store manager.
Okay. All right. And why have you been unable to find work? Because you're depressed?
Been out looking and just, I've been, emotionally and mentally depressed.
Well, it's hard to be energetic and be your best self when you're suffering from depression, and so it makes the energy level for the job search low, and then it makes the interview underperform both. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and yet the very thing that solves all of this is an income.
Correct. But I have.
Are you doing anything to earn any kind of money?
Just working online part time. A couple of $100 a month.
So you're pretty well living off your dad's Social Security then.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Have you seen a counselor?
No, I have not.
Are you a member of a church?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay. The interesting thing is that it's a chicken and egg problem. I'm not a mental health professional. Okay, I'm just a guy. I have the 30 years of experience of coaching people in the financial world, and oftentimes I run into folks that are struggling from depression, and the depression is aggravated by the financial problems, which then aggravates the depression, or the depression's aggravated by the financial problems, which then aggravates the job situation, the income situation, and that makes that worse. And so it's kind of a spiral downward. Like the job gets worse, so the depression gets worse, so the financial gets worse, so the job gets worse, so the financial gets worse, so the depression. You see what I'm saying? And so we have to stop. Sir. We have to do something to drop a bomb in the middle of that spiral and start going the other direction. Okay. So first things first. Your worst case scenario with the credit card debt is that you would file bankruptcy. Your next worst case scenario with the credit card debt is that they would sue you and actually win. The good news is you live in Texas. You have homestead laws there. They cannot put a lien on your personal residence as a result of consumer debt and a lawsuit. They also cannot garnish your wages in Texas. So the bottom line is they're going to get nothing. They're a dog running around the bottom of the tree barking, and you're safely up in the branches. Okay?
So what about, like, can they garnish the wages out of my bank account?
You'd have to check an attorney in Texas, but you don't have any money in your bank account.
I have like $3,000 cash. That's it.
Okay. And so it's not, they're not, it's not like they're more bark than bite because you're in Texas. There's not a lot they can do. Okay. You can check an attorney. I'm not one, but that's what you're going to find. You can actually do a little Google search and start to find out what they're able to do in Texas, and it's going to be nothing. That doesn't fix your problem, though. Let's pretend the debt went away completely. We still have a guy who's struggling with depression who doesn't have a job, which means we got another financial problem tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
If we waved a wand and all your debt went away completely, instantly, you've still got an issue. So what I'm going to tell you to do is let's start to work on the other side of it. Let's take the debt problem, slide it over here to the left, just out of emotional range, and not wring our hands over it because they can't do a lot about it and because you can't do a lot about it. For just a minute, let's set it over to the side, and let's work on John. Call your pastor and tell him you desperately need to have a cup of coffee with him this week. Tell him what's going on. Sit down with someone in your church and get some men around you that will care about you and will walk with you through this process. Number 2, will you do that if I ask you to do it?
Yes, sir, I will.
Okay. You have to. Depression is solved by taking action, activity. Number 2, start an exercise regime today. Tomorrow morning, I want you to walk 2 miles. Or go to the Y and lift weights. I don't care. Start doing something where your heart rate goes up because it releases adrenaline into your bloodstream, proteins, endorphins into your bloodstream, which is not the salvation for depression, but it does help. And when you just sit around and worry all day, it makes everything worse chemically. Okay? You follow me?
Yes, sir.
Number 2, exercise regime. Will you do that?
I will.
Number 3, do you have a car?
I do, and it's paid off in my name.
Wonderful. I want you to start delivering pizzas immediately or driving Uber, either one you choose. And it's not your end. It's not going to do anything except cause you to be doing something. And when you start doing something and a little bit of money comes in, it starts to feel better. And when it starts to feel better, you're more marketable when you go on a real interview for a real job. Then, when we get your real job kicked back in and you're feeling better, you're maybe seeing a counselor because you're making a little money to pay one and getting some help with this depression, not just a farm boy like me helping you, okay? But then, after you're doing all of that, you start to make a little money. We'll go back and attack these credit card debts and settle them for pennies on the dollar. You can get them out of your life. But the credit card debt's not the problem here. It's the symptom, and we have to attack the actual problem first. Hang on, I'm going to send you a copy of Ken Coleman's book, The Proximity Principle, to help you on that job hunt. Brought to you by YRefi. Refinance your defaulted private student loans today at yrefi.com/Ramsey.
Okay, so I fell for the lovely money trap of taking out a lot of student loans. And I had $85,000 in my name and $50,000 were through Parent Plus loans through my parents. Now, I did tell my parents, of course, I would help them pay off whatever they put into their name. So I've been working really hard for the past 8 years, and I paid off all of the student loans that were in my name. So I have no debt legally in my name. But when I went to tell my parents about it, like, hey, I know I've been throwing money at you guys for this every month, but I'm really going to start to focus on it. They kind of told me that they combined my loans and my siblings' Parent Plus loans that I took out for them into one big student loans pot. So I was kind of shocked that they said that because I've been paying towards it, and instead of paying towards mine, I've kind of been paying towards everybody's.
No.
So now I'm like,
No.
I'm at a point where, like, I don't know what to do.
No,
how much
you
more
did
should I be
not
paying
make an
them
obligation.
towards it,
Okay,
you know?
number one, stop. Number one, you don't have any legal obligation at all. You do have a moral obligation because you promised to pay your part, but you did not promise to pay your siblings' part, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so how old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay, how much have you paid towards the loan that your parents have?
I paid almost the full amount of it, like before interest. I've been giving them $1,000 a month for like almost 8 years.
Okay. All right, $1,000 a month for 8 years. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so why would a $60,000 loan not be gone?
The interest rates were high.
What were the interest rates?
They were at like 7 to 8% per loan, and it was a few
Okay.
different loans.
Did you?
together.
Is the $1,000 a month steady for 8 years?
Yes. Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
And you know what the original balance was, right?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So, and you're how old again?
29.
Okay. Are you married?
No.
Okay. Do you have an investment advisor?
No.
Okay. All right. Because it's a simple it's a financial calculator. I don't have one laying in front of me. I could almost do it on the air, but probably not. But we could simply say, all right, $60,000 at 7% and $1,000 on that. What would be the remaining balance after 8 years? I think it's going to be zero.
I know it's coming pretty close, which is why I mentioned
Yeah.
it. Like,
And
I'm
so
just gonna
I
pay
don't
the
owe
rest
I
of
don't
this
owe you
off.
anymore, Mom and Dad. I've fulfilled my obligation.
How did they respond, Sarah? Because they know how much you've been paying. And
Yeah.
did they say, oh, yeah, your term's almost up, or like what you've given us, or was that pushed back to you?
They kind of just like dropped the bombshell, like, oh, well, this happened, like to make the payments lower. A few years ago, we.
It doesn't
put all of
matter.
you
Yeah,
guys
but did they
together.
acknowledge the amount of money you've already paid them?
They did, but now it's like they're treating it like it's different.
Like a one big lump, yeah.
Okay. So, Mom, that's a relationship issue. So, Mom and Dad, here's the deal. I did not promise to pay anyone else's loans. I promised to pay mine. Mine was $60,000 at 7%, and with $1,000 a month for 8 years, the remaining balance would be zero, or would be X. And so I have $2,600 more to go, and then I'm not paying you anymore. I've met my obligation to you. The fact that you chose to consolidate it for a smaller debt, and my brother has chose not to pay his, does not affect my deal with you.
Yeah, that's pretty much the exact scenario of my siblings not being
Yeah.
able to pay theirs right
Yeah.
now. So,
So you just need to get real clear. Number one, you need to get the exact math done, and I can't do that for you
And
right
have
now.
it visual. Have it on a sheet of paper.
Yeah, just
here's exactly.
Do it.
Yeah.
You go online and you can print it out. Okay, you can just go online and find a calculator online, and put in 7%, $60,000 and $1,000 a month for 8 years, and what is the balance? And you can do it online in probably about 45 seconds. If I was smart, I could do it right now, but I'm not. So I used to keep a financial calculator here on the desk in the old days. But I think your balance is going to be zero, because you're going to be up over $90,000 you've paid in, including interest. That should be at zero. Okay, because we're talking about 96 months that you paid in, $96,000 you paid in, and 7% interest. So you're probably have overpaid, but I wouldn't worry about it if you've overpaid relationally. But I would just say I paid in $96,000, including interest. That means I don't owe anymore. Sorry, Mom and Dad. The rest of it's on you and bro. I did my part. I did my part. But you can use the actual math and show it to them.
Yeah. And please say bro.
Yeah. Just since a boomer,
So you, bro.
since I made a bad dad joke.
No,
Rachel's
it's
saying,
great.
but, yeah.
No. Sarah, is this going to be a hard conversation, or do you, like, when you have the math and you lay everything out, do you have the type of relationship that you feel?
Are they going to understand this?
Yeah. How is that going to go?
Oh God, I think it's going to be a tough conversation.
Yeah.
Only because they've done a lot of other things for me,
Yeah, they changed your diaper, but you don't have to pay them for that. That's called being a parent.
Right.
Now, they fed you, but you don't have to pay them for that. That's called being a parent. So this is a mess they have made. And they're very lucky, honestly, as Parent Plus holders,
that Sarah
actually has paid $96,000. Because 90% of the time I take this phone call, it's the parent griping because the kid has never paid a dime after they promised they would. And they're stuck with a big old hairy Parent Plus loan. But in this case, Mom and Dad are the ones that stepped in it.
Well done, Sarah.
And they got some on their shoe.
Morally, you've done everything to the T.
You don't have to do any more.
You're free.
I wouldn't do any more. You don't owe any more. But run the numbers to be 100% sure. Why Refi refinances delinquent private student loans for struggling borrowers. Learn more at yrefy.com/Ramsey. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Well, I had a question for you. I'm actually a pastor over here at a small town church, and I just want to say I very much appreciate all that you do.
Thank you.
But one question that's come up for me is I often hear you use the phrase, the borrower is slave to the lender. And I definitely agree with that principle in many ways. But then on the other end, I noticed that when it comes to a mortgage, you are okay borrowing in that instance, which seems almost to betray that principle a little bit. And I guess I was just curious on your reasoning as to why you think it's okay to borrow in that instance. But then when it comes to something like a car, especially for someone like me, I live a little bit in the country where I'm at.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more difficult. A car is almost a requirement.
Pastor, that is a wonderful question.
Yeah.
It's a really good question. Of course, you're quoting the scriptures, Proverbs 22:7. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. And this is a biblical principle that we're violating when we say it's okay to take out a mortgage. And that's your point, and you're correct completely on that. Or when we tell people it's okay to do that. So are you 26?
I'm actually like 31. So
31.
I had to think about that for a second.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, you lose count around 30. It happens. So, yeah, I'm on the 34th anniversary of my 30th birthday. But all right. So the answer to your question is, it is the only hypocritical advice we give on this show. It's the only thing that was hypocritical we give on this show. It's the only thing we tell people it's okay to do that I never do. I went broke in my 20s as I was a baby Christian. I had just met God, and I discovered in that process a guy teaching what the Bible said about money named Larry Burkett. And I said, I'm going to follow what the Bible says. I'm never borrowing money again, and I've never borrowed money again. I don't borrow money for anything ever, for any reason, under any circumstances. Everything else I tell people on the show to do, I do exactly what I say to do. Allowing people to take out a mortgage without me yelling at them, it's the only time that my advice is inconsistent with my life. Does that make sense?
Right.
And it's completely fair for you to call me out on it, and then I'll answer your question. But I wanted to caveat that and say, I don't borrow money for anything. And sometimes when I get a question where it's kind of borderline whether they have to borrow or not, I tell them that story. I say, hey, I don't borrow for anything, and I recommend that. That is the best way. If you follow biblical principles, you're going to, in your marriage is going to prosper. If you follow biblical principles raising your kids are going to be amazing. If you follow biblical principles in your mental health and your emotional state, you're going to prosper. And the same's true in your money and in your leadership. If you're running a church, running a business, same thing's true. So I evangelical, man. I believe if the Bible says it and you do it, it's a good thing, right? So I'm with you on that. Now, the reason that I lighten up when someone calls in on that is two things. One is I can pretty much talk you out of or call you stupid taking out a car loan, because cars go down in value, the interest rate is higher, and there's no correlation between buying cars with payments and becoming wealthy. Very few millionaires will tell you that, oh, the best thing I ever did was agree to borrow on a car because I needed a car because I was out in the country and I was driving a long way and I needed a car. No millionaires told us that when we studied 10,000 of them. So the fruit is not there. I'm a fruit inspector. Okay. The second thing is millionaires do tell us that they borrowed to buy a house many times, and when they got it paid off, they never borrowed money again after that. They're debt averse, but not completely mortgage averse. So the data is in that millionaires do that, even though I would tell you the best way to do it is save up and pay cash for it. It's hard to get people to save up for 10 years to buy a house. I can get them to save up 3 years to buy a car or to 18 months to buy a car. But I can't. I've had trouble doing that. So I make that violation. But I also often tell people all the time when I say that, no more than a 15-year mortgage, no more than a payment of a fourth of your take-home pay. You probably heard me say that, Zachary. And then get the stupid house paid off as fast as you can, because the shortest distance between where you are and wealth is debt freedom. And that's consistent across the thing. But you're exactly right. But a car is a completely different thing. A car is the largest thing we buy that goes the wrong direction. It goes down in value. And when you finance a car, you're just begging to be middle class the rest of your life. Financially, mathematically.
Well, and most people are stupid enough to take a car note on a $30,000 car when they have no money either.
Exactly. Yeah, like everybody listening right now, just about.
Right.
You're right.
I did have one other thing, and by the way, I want to say I support everything you're doing wholeheartedly, including I've been using myself many of these steps. Being a small town pastor, you don't get paid a ton of money, and you have kids, and so I've actually had to use these things for myself. So again, I want to say thank you.
Good.
The one other thing I noticed, though, as someone who was new to the Dave Ramsey program in many ways and was new to those steps, is that I didn't hear a lot of talk about creating a buffer. So as someone who was new, I didn't have any money in my checking account, right? Because I was using credit cards, and then I was paying off those credit cards with the money in my account. So I never really had money in my account, and I was in this endless cycle, obviously, like a lot of people were. So one thing that I thought just to consider is that in those baby steps, I almost thought there should be another baby step about creating a buffer, because people need they don't just need a $1,000 emergency fund. I thought that was the buffer whenever I was new to the Dave Ramsey program and the Dave Ramsey baby steps. But there's also this idea of making sure you have a buffer, because you're going to have auto payments on preschool and mortgages and all types of stuff. So
well, that should be part of your budgeting, Zachary. You should plan budgeting is cash flow planning. And so you're planning to not take more money out of your checking account than you have in it. That's your buffer. And you can put a $100 buffer in there if you want, but that's fine. You don't need any more than that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you don't need a $2,000 buffer because you're incompetent at budgeting. You need to have the budget dialed in. We're paying, the auto payment comes out here. This other payment comes out here. The paycheck planning aspect, it's called, and if you use the Every Dollar app, shows you how to do that. And so you need to plan out every situation there. But hey, we're honored to have you as a new listener.
That is something that rings home to me, because here's what I fell in the trap of doing. My wife and I would make a budget, and then we would check our checking account to see where we were. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't do that, because then I'd be like, oh, I can get a little more groceries. And then
because the checking account is not an indicator if you're on your budget.
That's exactly right. And so then that buffer he's talking about, then all of a sudden the school would pull their tuition on the 4th instead of the 5th. And because I was not following the budget map we'd laid out, but I was checking the checking account part.
You would never, a budget map is a plan, and you would never plan to spend money that you don't have in your account.
That's exactly right. Yes.
So don't plan to spend money you don't have in your account, and your need for a buffer goes away. Other than a common sense of $50 or $100 or something for slippage, or something being off 20 cents or something. You don't want to do that. We don't want to the penny thing. But this concept of slosh,
right?
Because that covers my lack of detail and sticking to the detail. That's not. You don't need slosh.
That's right.
That's not good. But yeah, and a lot of people do that. So the trick is, the thing that happens is your brain. And you and I have been talking about this in a bunch of other areas too. Your brain the neuroplasticity, your brain rewires itself when you start making every single dollar come out when it's supposed to. Give every dollar of your income a name before the month begins. You and your spouse spit, shake, and pinky swear that we're sticking to this contract that we just wrote down. Something happens and changes from that chaotic wild man that you were before, and it takes about 90 days for that rewiring to completely occur. And that neuroplasticity, it changes your behavior. It's behavior transformation. And so the detail matters in that situation, because you're forcing your brain to work
really hard.
Yeah, that's what you want. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Hey, Jamie, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for calling. How can we help?
I know taxes is around the corner, and I'm almost done paying off my car. I'm thinking about paying off my car and putting the rest in a high yield savings account. I just discovered those, so just wanted to see if that was a good idea.
Well, do you have any debt?
Just the car, and then I'm done. I already paid off my credit card last year, thank goodness.
Awesome.
And,
What's left on the car?
What was the what?
What's left on the car loan?
$3,000.
Okay, and how much money do you have in the bank?
We took a hit doing some car repairs, so right now I have about $700 in the bank.
Okay, and what was your question?
With the taxes, I'm thinking I might get $4,000 in tax return. I'm thinking I should just go ahead and take out that car note and then put the rest in a savings account.
Okay, so let's say in April you get a return of $4,000. You've got $3,000 left on the car loan. That leaves you with $1,000, and that would leave you with $1,700 in the bank. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Well,
that would be my plan: is pay off that debt ASAP.
Okay, just knock it out.
Yeah, just knock it out, because the next step in the baby steps is to build that fully funded emergency fund. So you'll be able to knock out baby step 2, pay off all your debt, and then start working to build up to that 3 to 6 months in expenses. So that's pretty exciting.
And Jamie, here's another piece of the puzzle that I want to challenge you with. Could you pay off the car before you get the tax return, and you can use that towards your emergency fund?
I don't know if I could do it before.
What's your income?
I only make about $45K a year.
Okay. And all of that money, where is it going? Are you doing a monthly budget?
Yeah, I'm just now starting the budget. I had to really dial back on eating out, and that was probably my biggest one.
That's the kicker.
The car repair. The eating out was constant, but the car repair hurt. We had to put $400 into car repairs.
Who's we?
Besides that,
is there a spouse?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your total household income?
Total, I would say 60 altogether.
So your spouse is making about 15. Are they part-time? What are they doing?
They're part-time. They only work 3 days a week about.
Is there a way to increase that? What's holding them back?
The kids and daycare, to be honest. Daycare is just too expensive. So we try to avoid it with our schedules.
Okay, so your spouse stays home?
Yeah, and then the 3 days she does go in. It's the later on when I'm home. So
okay, and the other piece,
kind of take turns.
When you get a tax return, here's the issue I have with it: you're giving the government a interest-free loan all year long with that money. So another goal I have for you is to stop getting such a large refund. And I also wouldn't bank on getting a big refund this year, because with the tax changes that have come down the pike, they have gotten rid of all the expanded child tax credit. All of the expansions that were, due to the economic impact that was happening with the pandemic is gone. And so are you banking on this $4,000? How sure are you it's going to be that number?
I'm doing a low guesstimate. Low. I think the lowest it will be is 4,000. It could be 3,000, but I am pretty sure it'll be around there.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't plan for it. I would live your life as if this car debt is needing to come from your future income, and attack that thing with a vengeance, even if it means working overtime, selling stuff, continuing to slash your expenses, just in case that tax refund comes in low and now you're like, oh gosh, now I'm defeated because I thought I was going to be debt free.
Yeah.
And so that's how I would approach it. And I would also maybe work on changing your withholdings with your employer to get closer to zero, where you don't owe anything and you're not refunded much.
Is that the better option? Just to zero it out, not to get anything back and not to pay?
Yes, because that means you paid just the right amount of taxes instead of paying too much or not enough. If it's not enough, you owe money. If it's too much, you get the refund. That's how taxes work. It's not a gift from Uncle Sam.
Okay, so I just been paying too much. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
And
what about those? Go ahead.
No, keep going.
I was going to ask. I just discovered Ally Bank.
Oh, Ally, yes.
High yield bank. Those aren't scams, are they?
No, those are legitimate banks. Here's the magic word you want to see on any of these websites is FDIC. And that is federal insurance that backs that bank. In case they go under, your money's protected up to $250,000 per person on the account.
Okay.
And so Ally is a legitimate bank. There's a lot of other high-yield savings accounts out there. The ones you don't want to go with is the ones that have credit card companies attached to it, because what that really means is that high-yield savings account is just a gateway drug to get you into their debt products. So stay away from those.
And they can be especially tempting, too, because a lot of them have slightly higher rates simply to draw you in. Like George said, they want you to be in their system, so therefore you're more likely to get into debt. So that's such a good call out, George, because we personally just moved our housing fund into a high yield savings account. And it was really tempting. We had that conversation off air where it was like, well, is it ethically wrong to go with a major credit card company that has a savings account? And it's just important to think through that.
Absolutely.
What kind of marketing are you going to get from that? But
yeah, thanks so much for the call, Jamie.
Yep.
Wishing you the best with the car payoff. It's exciting. You're so close. $3,000 left. Then the emergency fund. Then you got financial peace because you don't owe anyone anything. You've got a pile of money in the bank, and you sleep better at night. And it turns out you're less concerned about what's happening in the White House because your house is okay. And that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
We can't control Congress. God bless.
As we have seen in the last year.
But that's a good reminder, Christina, for those. I'm getting a lot of questions about high-yield savings accounts lately because a lot of people, they're comfortable with their bank. They've got their savings. It's making pretty much nothing. And right now, interest rates on savings accounts have skyrocketed. And so I think I'm getting like 3.8% right now. There's some bonuses and things like that you can get. So you can get upwards of 3-4% right now. So it may be time to move that money into a new online high-yield savings account so that you can, you want it to grow a little bit. Never hurts.
Yeah. It's always exciting now. We have our money in that high yield savings account, and we've been getting emails every few weeks saying, hey, it's gone up 0.5%. That's a nice feeling.
That's nice. And you can store most of your emergency fund there. I like to keep a little bit in my checking account as a buffer so you have immediate access to it instead of having to wait, a day. But it's a great option to see your money grow. We love that.